Chapter 2326. 2326 2326 had his eyes on them. You bunch of bastards, just you wait. I'll teach you a good lesson later. Damn it, don't open your stinky mouth. Get lost. In the underground sea of the Sky Realm, Invincible battle technique was located in the middle of the sea monsters. He was being attacked by the star-literate flying fish. Some of the star-literate flying fish were biting him, while others were flapping their wings. His entire body was like a rubber ball that was being attacked by the star-literate flying fish. He could only use some of the gaps to guide the sea monsters towards where Wuxia was. Invincible, who had been under attack all this while, was cursing nonstop. If it wasn't for the fact that he happened to bump into this group of damn sea monsters, he wouldn't have been prepared to do such a job. This bunch of animals was really unlucky. The defensive treasures on Invincible's body are so strong. He actually survived such an attack. Invincible battle technique is the most outstanding disciple in the entire land of battle technique in the past 100,000 years. It's the same in the entire Heavenly Swamp continent. It's said that Patriarch battle technique dotes on him very much. This defensive treasure should have been given to him by that godly monarch. Behind Invincible battle technique, more than a dozen people followed behind him. They were discussing softly as they watched the scene in front of them. Did you guys notice that Invincible battle technique is intentionally attracting the sea monsters in that direction? At this moment, an old man frowned and pointed in a direction as he said, That's true. Why is he attracting these sea monsters to that place? The rest of the people were deep in thought as they quietly followed behind. The eyes of the middle-aged man in the lead flickered as he had an uncertain guess in his heart. The group of people followed far behind. Invincible battle technique did not notice anything at all. Boss Wong, great harvest. Ha ha ha, great harvest. More than 200 starward flying fish. Quickly praise me. Ha ha ha. The group of people followed for an hour, and Invincible battle technique's excited voice came from the front. Buzz buzz buzz. At this moment, they saw a formation suddenly rise up. The formation covered an area of more than 100 kilometers, and Invincible battle technique and all the sea monsters were all covered. What's going on? At this moment, the people behind them revealed shocked expressions. Using the array to cover more than 200 star language flying fish sea monsters, ambush. Was the ambush effective? The Eternal God Lord level sea monsters could instantly escape if they were threatened. But if it was an ambush, why go through so much trouble? We seem to have encountered some secret. Master Yuan Liang narrowed his eyes and said indifferently, I have a premonition as well. The middle-aged man in the lead said the same thing. Be careful, don't be discovered. The middle-aged man reminded the people beside him. With the hidden items given to us by the Patriarch, we shouldn't be discovered. An old man said with a smile. More than a dozen people floated there quietly. Looking around, they couldn't see anyone. A powerful hidden treasure covered them. A day passed quickly. The dozen or so people did not lose their patience. They stared at the area silently. The array formation has disappeared. Suddenly, sensing the change in front of them, the middle-aged man in the lead said, Boss Wong, we have tamed more than 200 war pets for you this time. These are more than 200 Tier 3 Eternal God Lord war pets. Are you considering giving me some rewards? Sure, I will definitely treat you well when the time comes. The array formation disappeared, and two figures appeared in their line of sight. When they heard the voice coming from the front, more than a dozen people were instantly stunned. How is this possible? How is this possible? How could those flying starfish be tamed? Master Yuan Liang's breathing was somewhat hurried, and his face revealed an expression of disbelief. As a formation master, he knew how difficult it was to tame sea monsters. Especially the Eternal God Lord level sea monsters, the greatest difficulty was to bind them. To bind them, it was best to find their nest and prevent them from escaping. Otherwise, the sea monsters could escape in an instant. But now, listening to the previous words, the other party had tamed more than 200 starward flying fish sea monsters. How could this be? There were more than 200 level 3 Eternal Godlord sea monsters. That young man is the owner of the Dragon Palace's war pet. Master Yuan Liang said slowly. His eyes were burning. Dragon Palace's war pet. The others were also shocked. They knew that the Dragon Palace's war pet could sell more than 100 Eternal God Lord level war pets, and more than 3,000 peak god level ice-breaking wolves in a shop. After the Dragon Palace's war pets advertised on the AI, their names completely shook the entire Tianzi continent. Many people were extremely curious. Where did the Dragon Palace's war pets get so many war pets? It was fine if there were 10 or 8 of them, but it was so easy to get more than 100. This was too heaven-defying. However, what they didn't expect was that they would actually meet the Dragon Palace's war pet owner? It's indeed him. I've seen his photo. He seems to have had a conflict with the Mysterious Sky frontline experts in the Mysterious Sky domain. Someone in the AI said that he has the strength of an Eternal God Lord level 5. The only young man widened his eyes and exclaimed, "It seems that the array formation just now has some effects of the Beast Tamer ring. But it's even more powerful than the Beast Tamer ring. It can cover such a large area. It's unbelievable." The middle-aged man in the lead was a little shocked. An array formation could tame all the sea monsters. This was an array formation. It was simply unbelievable. They asked Master Yuan Liang to help them capture some powerful sea monsters and tame them as battle pets. They spent a huge amount of divine stones just to buy the Beast Tamer rings. It was not an exaggeration to say that the Beast Tamer rings in their hands were worth 10 Eternal God Lord Tier 4 battle pets. Of course, the value of the Beast Tamer rings was not equal. They had beginner and intermediate Beast Tamers. Beast Tamers could make a sea monster or desolate beast unable to return to its nest for a certain period of time. Taming it during this period of time would allow it to become a battle pet. It was made with the blood essence of a powerful sea monster, and was extremely precious. The owner of the Dragon Palace's battle pet clearly had his own special method. No wonder the Dragon Palace's battle pets can have so many battle pets. They can capture more than 200 of them at once. If our Divine Pet Pavilion could obtain such a method. Master Yuan Liang's breathing quickened and his eyes were burning. The Pet God Pavilion used to be the most powerful war pet shop in the entire Tianzi continent. They had branches in the 4 godly monarch areas and the royal family area of the Federation. There were also more than a dozen beast tamers. Even so, they could only obtain less than 30 Eternal God Lord level war pets every year. Most of them were low level. If such a method could be obtained then, if such a method can be mastered, then the resources that can be obtained will be beyond everyone's imagination. It will even make the God King tempted. The middle-aged leader's heart moved, and his expression changed. Chapter 23-27. 23-27. We're rich. Below the sky level sea area, over 10 people were breathing heavily as they stared ahead. They were all clear on the value of the war pets. On Tianzi continent, even if you could get over 10,000 Eternal God Lord level war pets, you could still sell them. How much were over 10,000 Eternal God Lord level war pets worth? These values, even undying emperors would be tempted. This was just the Tianzi continent. In the entire universe, trillions of planets, millions and millions of Eternal God level war pets could be sold. How much of a resource was this? If they could obtain such a technique to trap Eternal God level war pets, to them, this was an endless treasure trove. Who wouldn't be tempted? Especially to Master Yuan Liang. His heart was burning with passion. Master Yuan Liang, if we can obtain this kind of array formation, will we be able to tame thousands, or even tens of thousands of Eternal God war pets? The middle-aged leader suddenly turned to look at Master Yuan Liang, and asked him with a burning gaze. If that array formation really has the effect of the Beast Tamer ring, with the help of an expert, we will be able to tame thousands, or even tens of thousands of war pets. Master Yuan Liang looked at him, his heart slightly agitated. However, following that he frowned slightly. A Beast Tamer master would need at least 1 to 2 months to tame an Eternal God Lord war pet. He tamed it so quickly. I wonder if it's because of the formation. If it's really because of the formation, then this formation is too heaven-defying. I'm afraid that even the Greater World Overlord faction doesn't have such a formation. He mumbled. It was very difficult to become a Master Beast Tamer. There were only 30 Master Beast Tamers in the entire Tianze continent, and there were only 3 Master Beast Tamers who could tame Eternal God Lord rank 5 and above. He was one of the 3. Even he had only tamed 2 Eternal God Lord rank 5 sea monsters in his entire life. Beast taming techniques were very difficult, and taming sea monsters was also very difficult. He did not believe that he could tame more than 200 Eternal God Lord rank 3 sea monsters in such a short period of time. Let's not talk about anything else. Just getting this array formation alone can bring us terrifying benefits. Should we? An old man's eyes flickered as he spoke, looking at the middle-aged man in the lead. His words caused the dozen or so people to calm down, and their eyes flickered with light. It's a little difficult to obtain something from an Eternal God Lord, but I have a confinement ring in my hands. A secondary confinement ring can restrain experts below the level 7 Eternal God Lord. The middle-aged man in the lead said slowly, as he looked at the people around him. Oh, Tianya, you actually have this thing in your hand? The people around him looked at him in shock. There's one. Jing Tianya smiled slightly. Invincible in battle has a supreme treasure on him, and he has a godly monarch patriarch behind him. We can't fight him. A binding ring is enough. Didn't Little Sheep say that he only has the strength of an Eternal God Lord rank 5? He's not strong, so he can easily suppress him. An old man's eyes sparkled. They had already begun to discuss how to obtain the array formation that could trap the sea monster. Master Yuan Liang, what do you think? Jing Tianya asked Master Yuan Liang indifferently. If Sky City can really obtain such an array formation, our pet god pavilion is willing to join Sky City. Master Yuan Liang said without hesitation. Haha, good. Originally, I was only thinking of taming some of the Eternal Lord rank 5 or 6 battle pets. Now, it's not impossible for them to be even stronger. Jing Tianya revealed an excited expression. Third uncle, that invincible battle technique has left. He has gone to continue attracting sea monsters. At this moment, the only young man said excitedly. Everyone looked over, and the invincible battle technique figure quickly disappeared from their sight. I have a plan. Master Yuan Liang looked forward and said with a smile. Oh, they looked at him with a puzzled look. I have a level 5 Eternal Lord pet in my hand. We can enter the belly of the pet. Once the pet enters the area set up by the pet owner of Dragon Palace, he will activate the array formation. After the formation is activated, we may be able to capture it easily without using the confinement circle. Master Yuan Liang said with a smile. That's not a bad idea, but for safety reasons, we can directly use the confinement circle. We can't let him escape. Jing Tianya said coldly. Then according to Master Yuan Liang's method, we can also see the power of the formation. As a middle-aged man spoke, he was immediately interrupted by Jing Tianya. Alright, that kid is setting up the formation. We'll get ready too. As Master Yuan Liang spoke, a door appeared behind him. Inside the door was a Tier 5 war pet of an Eternal God Lord. A golden rhinoceros. Its entire body was golden yellow, and its body size was around 10 meters. It was emitting a powerful might. The golden rhinoceros's belly might not be able to hold so many of us. We'll have to leave a few behind. Master Yuan Liang said to Jing Tianya. Little Sheep, Tianyan Third Master, and the 2 of you stay here. Let's go. Jing Tianya immediately said. Okay. The 5 of them stayed here while the other 7 went over. The golden rhinoceros opened its mouth wide. Master Yuan Liang and the other 7 went straight into its stomach. Because they were battle pets, they would not be attacked by the golden rhinoceros. It's about time. Let's go. Through the gap in the golden rhinoceros mouth, they could see the situation outside. Jing Tianya immediately gave the order. Old Jing, go. Yuan Liang immediately gave the order to the golden rhinoceros. Roar. The golden rhinoceros let out a low roar and flew straight to the area in front. In the ocean ahead, Wang Xian had just set up a formation and was about to learn a new one when he suddenly sensed something in front of him. He looked over and revealed a stunned expression. Am I that lucky? Looking at the golden rhinoceros swimming towards him, he revealed a stunned expression. Just now, Invincible had brought over 200 flying fish war pets with him. Now, there was a level 5 eternal overlord golden rhinoceros. It seemed that even the heavens wanted him to make a fortune. I'm in. Seeing this golden rhinoceros entering the territory of the formation unscrupulously, Wang Xian revealed a smile. Buzz! Buzz! The black hole disturbance formation was activated instantly. Haha, my luck is here. I can't even block it. Wang Xian couldn't help but laugh out loud. He stared at the golden rhinoceros with a face full of smiles. The formation is activated. We're in. Get ready to make a move, haha. While Wang Xian was laughing out loud, the 7 people inside were also laughing out loud. Get out! Master Yuan Liang shouted softly. Imprison! Jing Tianya flew out instantly. A circle landed on Wang Xian's body, and the 7 people flew out from the golden rhinoceros's belly instantly. Ha! The 7 people flew out from the golden rhinoceros's mouth, causing Wang Xian to be slightly stunned. He raised his eyebrows slightly when he sensed the circle that was heading towards him. Haha, it's locked down. Jing Tianya couldn't help but shout excitedly when he saw the imprisonment circle hovering above Wang Xian. Tianya, I feel that I can't return to the Eternal Kingdom. It's a formation. Ha ha ha, it's this formation. We're rich, we're rich. Chapter 2328. 2328 The Fate of 2328 Idiot. An excited voice rang out from the black hole formation. At this moment, the 7 people who flew out from the golden rhino's belly were extremely excited. In fact, they were so excited that their bodies were trembling. Especially when they heard the words of the middle-aged man. Their eyes were burning with passion. It was as though sparks could be seen in the ocean. All of them looked at their surroundings fervently. Even Wang Xian, who was in the middle, ignored them. Wang Xian was a little dumbfounded. The 7 people who appeared in the belly of the golden rhinoceros were all like retards. This was the first time Wang Xian saw someone so excited when he entered his black hole disturbance formation. There was also this thing above his head. It seemed to have a function similar to the black hole disturbance formation. Who are you guys? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly and interrupted the excited expressions of the idiots as he asked them. You're the boss of the Dragon Palace's battle pets, right? No wonder you were able to get so many powerful battle pets. Impressive, really impressive. I didn't expect you to be an array master. Master Yuan Liang squinted his eyes slightly and praised Wang Xian with a smile on his face. What is the purpose of the few of you hiding in the belly of your battle pets? Wang Xian swept his gaze across the 7 of them. They were dressed in white with clouds embroidered on them. They were the powerhouses of Sky City. Purpose? The owner of the Dragon Palace's battle pets, right? I am the vice mayor of the northern city of Sky City. I wonder if you have any thoughts of joining Sky City? Jing Tianya said slowly to Wang Xian. No. Wang Xian's gaze landed on him, and he shook his head coldly. Since you don't have any, then hand over the formation you set up to us. It can be considered as making friends with our Sky City. Jing Tianya didn't have any reaction to his rejection, as he said with a smile. Hee, why should I hand it over to you guys? Wang Xian now understood that the other party had noticed his formation at some point in time. The formation could trap sea monsters, and the old man standing on the war pet should be a beast tamer master. Wang Xian now completely understood their thoughts. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he glanced at the 7 of them in a teasing manner. I can't wait for you to agree or not. In a while, you will hand it over obediently. An old man said with a smile on his face. Come here. After he finished speaking, a middle-aged man at the side waved his arm. The water energy condensed into a huge palm and went straight for Wang Xian. You guys are really idiots who are looking for death. Wang Xian saw an Eternal Lord level 6 expert attacking him. A contemptuous smile appeared on his face as he waved his arm. Bang! His palm collapsed instantly. He slowly walked toward the group of people. Huh? Everyone was slightly stunned. Jing Tianya also raised his eyebrows slightly. His strength doesn't seem to be level 5 Eternal Lord level. He mumbled and shook his head nonchalantly. I don't have time to play with you here. Fall. The middle-aged man, and another level 5 Eternal Lord powerhouse, who had attacked Wuxia immediately attacked him. I really don't know how the city in the sky could have such a bunch of idiots like you. Wuxia saw the two people who were attacking him. He waved his arm and destructive energy fell directly on them. Oh no! This time, the two people who were attacking him felt the threat of death brought by the gray energy, and their expressions changed drastically. They hurriedly fled to the side. This is bad. He is very strong. He is at least at level 7 of the Eternal Lord. Jing Tianya's expression changed slightly when he saw Wuxia's attack. There were 12 people who came this time. Among them, the strongest one was at level 7 of the Eternal Lord and 3 were at level 6. The only young man who had just stepped into the Eternal Lord realm, and the rest were all at level 5. This force was not weak. He could even fight against a level 7 sea monster of the Eternal Lord. Sensing the grayish energy, Jing Tianya immediately determined Wuxia's strength. His body moved and a divine weapon that looked like a mirror appeared in his hand. Buzz! The white light on the mirror flashed and directly attacked Wuxia. A bunch of trash. They actually wanted to ambush me. What a joke! When Wuxia saw Jing Tianya making his move, his face was still filled with contempt. His arm shook and immediately transformed into a dragon claw. A dragon claw that was a few hundred meters in size attacked them. Buzz! When the dragon claw landed on the white light, it immediately wiped it away. The terrifying power that was filled with savagery fell towards them. He is an expert at level 8 of the Eternal Lord. He has mastered 8 laws. At this moment, Jing Tianya's expression changed drastically. He roared in horror. Oh, now you know. You know that my formation can trap the Eternal Lord, but you still came in. What an idiot! Wuxia said with a smile. This was the first time he had seen such a stupid person. He knew that the Eternal Lord wouldn't be able to escape, even if he entered the formation. In the end, the other party came in hidden in the belly of the war pet. When he first entered, he realized that he couldn't return to the Eternal Lord. He was extremely excited and shouted that he had struck it rich. What the fuck? Wuxia felt that fighting with them had affected his intelligence. Die! With a wave of his arm, a powerful dragon claw swept towards them. It's over. At this moment, the faces of the 7 people from the city in the sky turned extremely pale. The excitement from before were completely gone. They had thought that the other party only had the strength of a level 5 Eternal God Lord, but they had not expected that a level 8 was 3 levels higher than what they had expected. A person who had grasped 8 laws was simply impossible for them to contend against. Now that there was a formation, they could not return to the Eternal God Lord. They were finished. They were completely finished. Pung pung pung. The dragon claws descended, and powerful forces landed on their bodies. No, don't kill us. We are from Sky City, don't kill us. A middle-aged man hurriedly roared. It has nothing to do with me. Let me go, let me go. Master Yuan Liang's face was also filled with fear, as he cried out involuntarily. Who would have thought that such a comical scene would happen? They were simply here to die. Let you guys off. HMPH, if you guys are stronger than me, would you let me off? Wuxia's eyes revealed a hint of coldness. Although these guys were extremely stupid, they had the intention to harm others. If he didn't achieve a breakthrough, he would be completely screwed this time. Boom! A destructive dragon claw swept past, and the 7 of them were sent flying. They spat out fresh blood. Wuxia waved his arm, and the grayish chains wrapped around them. No! Jing Tianya's face was filled with horror. His face was filled with resentment, unwillingness, and fear. They rushed in with excitement. They thought they would obtain endless treasures, but they never expected that what they obtained was death. Soul Catcher. The 7 of them had no strength to resist against Wuxia, who was in such an area. The chains wrapped around his body and pulled him to the front. Then he used the soul-absorbing power. Chapter 2329. 2329 2329 Underground Sea Monster Nest Map. Ah! Screams of agony came out from the mouths of the people. Soul capture, and order them to summon their eternal divine kingdom. Wang Xian was already familiar with such matters. Wang Xian took off their interspatial rings, and took a look at their eternal divine kingdom. There were quite a lot of good things, but many Wang Xian didn't like them, and directly threw them into the Dragon Palace. Not only did they send over the corpses of 7 powerhouses, but they also sent over a large amount of resources. They are really good people, Wang Xian said with a smile on his face. He looked at the interspatial ring in his hand. There were 7 of them, and they were all very big. There were quite a number of divine stones and pills inside. These are the Beast Tamer's rings. In Jing Tianya's interspatial ring, Wang Xian saw 10 rings. As a master beast tamer, he knew a little about Beast Tamer's rings, even if he didn't need them. Beast Tamer's rings are extremely precious. They aren't even sold in Tianzi continent. He has 10 of them in his possession. He really invested a lot. No wonder this guy who has mastered the 7 laws doesn't have anything good. Wang Xian looked at the Beast Tamer's ring in his hand and mumbled. Although he couldn't use the Beast Tamer rings, he could sell them. At the corner of the interspatial ring, Wang Xian suddenly saw a piece of cloth. The cloth was made from the skin of a powerful sea monster. There were dense words and patterns on it. With a wave of his arm, the cloth appeared in his hand. The cloth was about the size of a square meter. When it was unfolded, it was a map. Treasure map? No, this is? He squinted his eyes slightly and looked at the information on it. Earth Chilan Turtle Sea Monster Nest Map. Is this real or fake? Wang Xian sized it up carefully, and his eyes sparkled. The sea monster nest was exactly the same as the sea monster nest that he came to for the first time. As long as he could find the nest of the sea monster, it would be much easier to subdue it. If he could escape, he wouldn't be able to escape. If he could find the nest of the sea monster, he would be able to tame the sea monster. More and more beast tamers in the greater world were searching for the nest of the sea monster and taming it. This map was a map of the nest of the Earth Chilan turtle in the underground sea. It's located at the deepest part of the underground sea, which is the 10th level. It's more than 100 million kilometers away from the surface of the sea. Wang Xian mumbled. He didn't have much doubt about this map. In the deepest part of the underground sea, most of the nests of the Eternal Lord Sea monsters were located there. A few Immortal King-level existences were also located at the deepest part. The Earth Chilan turtle is an Eternal Lord level 7. I can go and take a look. If there's any danger, I can escape quickly. As for encountering the Immortal King sea monsters, I shouldn't be so unlucky. His eyes flickered. He felt that he could go and take a look. However, he wasn't prepared to take the risk for the time being. Money boy. Wang Xian smiled and prepared to deactivate the formation. Why aren't Third Uncle and the rest out yet? It's been a while. At the position outside the formation, the only young man among the dozen of them looked at the formation in front of him and asked anxiously. We should be interrogating that guy. Hehe. When our Sky City obtains such a formation, the ancestor will definitely reward us greatly. In the future, we will also get some of the Battle Pet's resources. Who knows, our Sky City might be able to produce even more undying emperors. An elder beside said excitedly. If they could obtain the formation to trap the Eternal God Lord level sea monster, their Sky City might rise up quickly. At the very least, they would be able to get the Grand Elder's reward. Maybe we can build a pet shop that is even more powerful than the Dragon Palace's war pets. The young man cracked a smile. The 5 of them stood beside the array and waited with anticipation and excitement. Buzz! At this moment, the array trembled slightly. The array is about to break. An old man roared in a low voice. Buzz, buzz! The black hole disturbing the air formation slowly dissipated. When Jing Tianya and the others were surrounded by the formation, the 5 of them flew over and waited at the edge of the formation. Now that the formation had disappeared, the scene inside appeared clearly in his sight. However, when they saw a figure inside, the 5 of them were completely stunned. "Where are third uncle and the rest?" The young man's expression changed slightly as he said in a low voice. There are actually 5 people who are courting death outside?" When Wang Xian saw that there were actually 5 people waiting outside, he raised his eyebrows slightly. Buzz. Without any hesitation, he waved his arm and numerous chains attacked them. "Oh no, Tianya and the rest must have been killed. Run!" The moment he saw Wang Xian making his move, an old man shouted at once. "Third uncle and the rest have been killed." The young man's body trembled, and his face turned pale instantly. He quickly fled into the distance. At the same time, their figures gradually turned illusory. When Wang Xian saw them fleeing in an instant, the chains immediately turned into long blades and slashed towards their bodies. "Flee, flee," he killed the deputy mayor and the rest. Everyone's eyes were bloodshot as they fled frantically. Buzz. One by one, their figures turned illusory. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. While they were fleeing, the long sabers slashed at their bodies. Screams of pain rang out. 3 of them had their arms chopped off instantly. In fact, half of their bodies were chopped off. Another 2 people's blood-curdling screams rang out. The young man was cut in half from head to toe by the long saber. However, the long saber didn't land on him completely, causing his body to disappear. Only a middle-aged man was the first to escape from Wang Xian's attack. It's indeed a little difficult to kill. Although most of the 5 people were severely injured in an instant, they still managed to escape. Wang Xian frowned slightly, but didn't pay too much attention to it. Among them, 4 of them were severely injured. He used his destructive energy to attack them. If the few of them wanted to recover, even if they had elixirs, it would take them decades. If they didn't have elixirs, it would take them more than 1,000 years. Wang Xian's destructive power of the 5 elements wasn't so easy to eliminate. Without the help of a powerhouse, the most miserable young man would almost certainly die. Will I be able to survive if I escape? If you want to get the formation from me and kill me, you must be prepared to be killed. As Wang Xian spoke, he swung his arm at the severed limbs and fresh blood in front of him. Even if he escaped, the curse could still kill him. Let's try the curse formation that I have mastered over the past few days. The corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. He immediately began to set up the formation in front of him. A formation took a total of 3 minutes. The main reason was that Wang Xian was not too familiar with it. Buzz. He threw a severed limb into the formation, and the strange formation began to rotate. How can this be? How can this be? I don't want to die. I don't want to die. At the city in the sky. The entire city in the sky was divided into 18 cities. Each city was managed by a city lord and 2 deputy city lords. In the northern city, an old man with a broken arm appeared in his divine kingdom and let out a desperate scream. Chapter 2330. 2330-2330, the 10th level of the underground sea. What happened? What happened to the patriarch? Something happened to Grandpa. When a scream came from an eternal divine kingdom in the North City, it immediately attracted attention and people immediately ran over. 2 minutes later, another scream came from another place. The experts who had escaped were killed by the curse before they could even recover. Save me, grandfather, father, save me, save me. The young man who had just returned to the eternal divine kingdom, from the back of the city lord's mansion, in the North City, shouted with a mournful face. The roar was abnormally mournful and strange. At this moment his body was almost cut in half, and his entire body was covered in blood. He looked extremely miserable. The moment he returned to the eternal divine kingdom, he cried out for help with a terrified face. He felt his life rapidly draining away. He felt that he was about to die. With his own recovery ability, he could not recover from his injuries at all. Young master, what happened to you? An old man guarding the divine kingdom noticed that the young man was covered in blood and had almost been cut in half. His face revealed a shocked expression. He hurriedly ran over. When he saw the miserable state of the young man's body, he immediately channeled his energy. Damn it! When he sensed that his energy had been dissolved by the 5 elements' destructive power, his expression changed drastically. Immediately inform the city lord. Quick, quick! Something has happened to young Master Jing Xiaoyang. He hurriedly shouted loudly. Boom, boom, boom. In less than 5 minutes, an old man, a woman, and a middle-aged man flew over. Little Yang. When they saw the young man's injuries, the 3 people's expressions changed drastically. The old man immediately flew over, and majestic energy was poured into his body. Pills were put into his mouth one by one. Little Yang, what happened? What happened? Who did it? A roar came from the mouth of the middle-aged man behind him, and he stared at his son with a blood-red face. Father, grandfather, it's the owner of the Dragon Palace's war pet shop. It's him. He killed third uncle and most of us. Jing Xiaoyang said with a pale face. His head began to close under the elder's treatment. It was not as terrifying as before. Stabilize your breath, and control the energy in your body to recover first. Tell me in detail. The elder said to him with a dark face. It's grandfather. It's like this. Jing Xiaoyang told him everything that had happened. The elder's face kept changing. An array that could trap the eternal god Lord Sea Monster. A powerful beast tamer master. The owner of the Dragon Palace pet shop. He didn't say anything when he heard his grandson's words. If it were him, he would do the same, but Jing Tianya and the others were a bit unlucky this time, and they had misjudged the other party's strength. Ah! At this moment, Jing Xiaoyang roared with a face full of fear, and his voice sounded abnormally horrifying. In the next moment, his body began to wither and become deathly still. Oh no, what's going on? Little Yang, little Yang. The old man and the middle-aged man's faces were filled with shock as they frantically transmitted energy to his body. Cough, 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 Grandpa, I feel the energy in my body disappearing. Grandpa, father, help me take revenge. Kill him, kill him. Jing Xiaoyang growled in a low voice with a pained expression. His life force was disappearing, and the energy in his body was dissipating. If not for the old man treating him at the expense of his own body, Jing Xiaoyang would have died. However, even if he did not die, he would have to pay a terrifying price for this recovery. He fainted. 10 minutes later, the old man looked at his grandson with a somewhat pale face, his face extremely gloomy. Father, why did little Yang's injuries suddenly burst out? The middle-aged man at the side also had an extremely ugly expression, clenching his fists. I don't know. The old man's expression changed, and he shook his head gloomily. Father, you have to avenge little Yang. The woman at the side cried with tears streaming down her face. I'll handle this matter. You guys stay here and take care of little Yang. His eyes flickered as he slowly walked out. Lord City Lord, I've just received news that 4 city guards have died. They died in their eternal divine kingdom. Just as the old man walked out, an old man respectfully came to report. Dead. The old man clenched his fists tightly and looked at the city in front of him. Our northern city has always been the weakest of the 18 cities in the sky. Now more than 10 experts have died. He murmured, and then a cold light shot out of his eyes. If the northern city can obtain that special array formation, it will be easy for them to heal Little Sheep's injuries. At that time, the northern city might not be comparable to a main city, but it is not impossible for it to become one of the top 3 cities. With such a great merit, the patriarch will definitely not be stingy with the rewards. The old man murmured, this might be a turning point for the northern city. Notify the eternal lord of the northern city. Notify the experts from the pet god pavilion. I'll have to trouble them all to come over. He looked at his subordinates and ordered. It's the city lord. The old man was slightly shocked. He immediately nodded and left. The weakest city in the 18 cities. In order to elevate the northern city, Tianya and the others have fallen. This time, it's time to take a gamble. After the old man gave his order, he looked at the eternal kingdom at the back and flew away immediately. These guys should be dead. Located in the depths of the underground sea in the sky realm, Wuxia revealed a smile after he finished laying out the last curse. He would not provoke others if others did not provoke him. Since the other party wanted to kill him, he naturally had to kill his way back. I've gotten so many battle pets for Boss Wang. Next, I should look for my Eternal Lord level 7 and level 8 mount. It would be meaningless to look for those low-level ones anymore. It would also waste my Invincible battle technique time. The Invincible battle technique didn't know what was happening here. After helping Wuxia capture more than 200 flying starfish, this guy started to slack off. He didn't plan to attract the low-level sea monsters anymore. He wanted to see if he could attract level 8 sea monsters of the Eternal Lord. At least level 7 of the Eternal Lord. However, level 7 and level 8 sea monsters were not that easy to find. He did not encounter any for more than 10 hours. This made Invincible battle technique extremely helpless. There must be powerful sea monsters in the depths. Invincible battle technique stared at the bottomless underground sea with sparkling eyes. Boss Wang, I'm back. More than 20 hours later, Invincible Battlemich flew over with 2 level 4 Eternal Lord sea monsters, and shouted in a perfunctory manner. You brat, why did you take so long this time, and only managed to get these 2 after a day? Wuxia said with slight dissatisfaction. Boss Wang, I don't know why there are fewer sea monsters in the surroundings either. It might be because of the group of stellar flying fish. I think we can go deeper and take a look. For example, the 9th level and the 10th level. We will definitely encounter powerful sea monsters there. Invincible battle technique stared at him, and spoke with a straight face. He even pointed deeper into the sea. Deeper into the sea? A hint of hesitation appeared on Wuxia's face. Boss Wang, most high-level sea monsters are deeper into the sea. I think that with our strength, we can go to the 9th and 10th level of the underground sea without a problem. There must be a large number of god-level sea monsters there. Invincible battle technique said seductively. If it's too deep, it's a little risky. Wuxia showed hesitation on his face. Boss Wang, how can we obtain a high-level sea monster battle pet if we don't take risks? I'm not even afraid of a level 1 eternal god-level sea monster. Boss Wang, you're so powerful, what's there to be afraid of? Invincible battle technique raised his head and said to him. Wuxia glanced at him coldly. You have a defensive treasure, but I don't. Chapter 2331. 2331 2331 Earth Chilean Turtle's Nest. Let's go to the deepest part of the underground sea. Wuxia hesitated for a moment, before deciding to go to the deepest part of the underground sea to take a look. With his strength, he could totally dive into the deepest part of the underground sea. Even if he met the immortal godly monarch, that guy who was invincible in combat had a treasure. He also had a treasure in his hands. It was enough for him to escape back to the eternal godly nation. Furthermore, if the sea monster lair map in his hands was real, he might be able to obtain a group of level 7 sea monsters. He could take the risk and give it a try. Let's go, Boss Wang. What are we waiting for then? Invincible revealed an excited expression when he heard Wuxia's decision. He immediately urged him. All right. Wuxia nodded his head. Now that he had sold all his battle pets, it was enough for him to increase his level by another level. By then, he would have the strength of a level 9 Eternal Lord. However, he was not satisfied. If he could obtain some level 7 or level 8 Eternal Lord battle pets, after selling them, he would be able to reach level 4 Eternal Lord. By then, he would be invincible under the Immortal King realm. Across the entire Tianza continent, the humans and the sea monsters could only threaten him with about 10 people. At that time, he would be considered to be truly powerful. He stared at the deep seabed and flew downwards with his invincible battle technique. This was his first time flying to such a deep seabed. The underground sea was very deep, and the lowest level was more than 100 million kilometers. What kind of concept was this? Even if Wuxia wanted to go deep into the 10th level, he would need to fly for several hours. Of course, if he teleported, he would be very fast. However, In this underground sea where the sea monsters were wreaking havoc, teleporting was simply courting death. If he teleported into the sea monsters, he might not even have the chance to return to the eternal celestial kingdom, and would be instantly killed. Over here, their aura is over here. Then, they continued to extend towards the depths of the underground sea. About 20 minutes after Wang Xian left, more than 200 people rushed over from the previous location. There was a strange war pet in front of the 3 old men in the lead, and an old man who was wearing a costume with the patterns of 100 beasts. The war pet had a long nose, which took up 1/3 of its head. It looked a little deformed. Going to the depths of the underground sea, the white-haired old man in the middle frowned slightly. Patriarch, Jing Tianya has a map of the sea monster's nest in the depths of the underground sea. It should be obtained by that guy now. It's very likely that the old man said to the white-haired old man in the middle, with a thoughtful look on his face. Oh, City Lord Jing, a map of the sea monster's nest? What's a map of the sea monster's nest? The old man in the 100 beasts costume asked with sparkling eyes. The Earth Chilan turtle nest map. That guy can kill Tianya and the others. He has at least 8 or even 9 laws. He should be able to subdue the Earth Chilan turtle. City Lord Jing didn't hide anything and said, Pavilion Master Zone, keep chasing. If we can catch up to the pet shop owner of the Dragon Palace, it will be a great opportunity for both of us. The white-haired old man said to Pavilion Master Zone. Good. If we succeed, our pet god Pavilion will join your Northern City and Sky City in the future. Pavilion Master Zone said with a smile. Good. Continue your pursuit. There might be some danger in the future. The weak will immediately return to the eternal divine kingdom once they encounter danger. The eyes of the white-haired old man flickered. He nodded with a smile and ordered everyone. Yes, old city lord. The others immediately responded. The white-haired old man was the previous city lord of the northern city. The war pet in front of Pavilion Master Zone moved its nose, and immediately began to chase after him. A group of more than 200 people immediately chased after him into the depths of the underground sea. The group of people who came were naturally the people from the northern city. More than 200 Eternal God Lord rank 3 and above experts. This was the strength of the northern city. Even if the northern city was the weakest among the 18 cities, and didn't have the suppression of a peak Eternal Lord, it was still a considerable force. There were 2 people who had mastered 9 laws, including the Pavilion Master of the Pet God Pavilion. There were a total of 3. This force was very strong. At least in their opinion, it wasn't difficult to capture the pet owner of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian, who was flying towards the bottom of the underground sea, didn't know that someone was chasing after him. He did not expect that killing Jing Tianya and the rest would provoke a city in the Sky City. He kept flying downwards and scanned his surroundings vigilantly. Wang Xian was multitasking as he recalled the route on the map of the Earth Chilan turtle's nest. The underground sea was too big. A map would not be able to pinpoint the location. Wang Xian could only roughly determine a territory within a radius of 10 million kilometers based on the records on the map. A radius of 10 million kilometers was not a small place. It would take a lot of time to investigate every single area. Furthermore, he had to be careful at the bottom of the sea. Whoosh! This place is really filled with dangers. After avoiding the sneak attack of a phantom sea monster, Wang Xian waved his arm. A surge of powerful energy attacked the phantom sea monster. Buzz! The transparent body of the underground sea killer flashed and disappeared quickly. A single strike could kill a person for thousands of miles. This was the famous killer sea monster in the sky realm. Wang Xian ignored the illusionary sea monster that had already escaped, and continued flying downwards. When he reached about the 8th layer of the underground sea, Wang Xian used the heart of light and darkness to conceal himself. He could sense a terrifying energy coming from below and around him. In the underground sea, with his current strength, he could not act recklessly. Boss Wang, this place is about ready. I will go and attract the sea monsters. You set up a formation here. It was also the first time that Invincible battle technique had entered such a deep place in the underground sea. He, who had always been bold, spoke with some fear. There's no need for that for now. Let's go to the bottom of the sea to look for something. Wang Xian shook his head at Invincible battle technique. Look for something? Boss Wang, what are we going to look for at the bottom of the underground sea? Invincible battle technique asked with a face full of astonishment. Sea monster lair, take a look too. As Wang Xian spoke, he threw the map to Invincible battle technique. This Boss Wang, how did you get this? This is a good item. It's a pity that it's not the lair of the level 8 sea monster of the Eternal Lord. Invincible battle technique said with slight disappointment. Wang Xian ignored him and continued to fly downwards. After flying for half an hour, a pitch-black seabed appeared in Wang Xian's sight. This was the seabed of the underground sea. In the entire underground sea, 80% of the sea monsters of the Eternal Lord level were hidden at the bottom of the sea. This was also the most dangerous place in the entire underground sea. According to the map, it should be within a radius of 10 million kilometers. Wang Xian roughly estimated the area. Chinibu, let's look for the Earth Chilan turtle's nest first and see if we can find it. Wang Xian instructed Invincible battle technique. Alright, this place is a little dangerous. Boss Wang, Eternal Lord level 8 battle pet, you can't go back on your word. Chapter 2332. 2332-2332 launched a sneak attack. This time, I'll give you even if I only get a level 8 sea monster from the Master of Eternal God. Wang Xian promised Invincible battle tactics. Although this guy was unreliable, Invincible battle tactics had indeed put in a lot of effort this time. He had gotten quite a number of war pets. Wang Xian would get him a level 8 war pet from the Master of Eternal God this time. The next time he promised an ultimate war pet from the Master of Eternal God. Would he not come? When the time came, he would definitely rush over eagerly. Boss Wang, this is what you said. Don't worry. I, Invincible in combat arts, will definitely find the Earth Chilan turtle's nest for you. Invincible in combat arts' eyes lit up when he heard Wang Xian's words. How can I lie to you? Wang Xian looked at him and continued speechlessly. You search the front while I search the back. Inform me with this formation when you find it. As he spoke, he threw an array compass to Invincible battle technique before turning around and flying back. Hee. Invincible battle technique kept it into his interspatial ring with a smile on his face and began to search the surroundings immediately. Earth scale turtle Earth attribute. It should be located below the soil. However, as the soil at the bottom of the underground sea, its hardness is extremely terrifying. The Earth scale turtle wouldn't hide too deep in the soil. Wang Xian mumbled. The soil at the bottom of the underground sea could withstand such a terrifying sea. The toughness was so strong that even immortal godly kings couldn't break it. The Earth Chilan turtle couldn't hide in the soil that was too deep. It should be easy to find. They have reached the bottom of the underground sea. The nest of the Earth Chilan turtle should be in this area. Just as Wang Xian was looking for the sea monster, more than 200 figures had arrived at the location above. Let's go. Mayor Jing looked around and whispered to them. Shall we chase after him by following the scent or wait until he finds the Earth Chilan turtle's nest? The sect master looked at Mayor Jing and the white-haired elder. As long as we don't lose him, we can wait. It would be better if we wait until he finds the Earth Chilan turtle. We can see his strength clearly and catch him off guard. The white-haired old man pondered for a moment and said, The old city lord is thoughtful. This time, we must be absolutely sure. Pavilion Master Zong nodded and revealed a smile. Then we'll wait here for a while. If there are any energy fluctuations, we'll immediately head over. The white-haired old man nodded and ordered. The group of people floated in the sea, quietly waiting for the opportunity. Boss Wang, I found it. Ha ha ha. My invincible battle technique is still the best. An hour later, Wang Xian received a message from Invincible battle technique. His face lit up, and he immediately flew in the direction of Invincible battle technique. Boss Wang, look over there. When Wang Xian arrived in front of Invincible battle technique, he pointed at a spot in front of him and said excitedly, "You are really lucky." Wang Xian looked over and his eyes sparkled. At the bottom of the sea in front of him, there were more than 40 densely packed black holes, each of which was about 100 meters in size. There were more than 40 black holes, covering an area of 50 kilometers. In the black holes, there were waves of majestic energy coming from them. This is the lair of the Earth Qilin turtles. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with excitement. There were more than 40 holes. It might not necessarily be more than 40 Earth Qilin turtles. There might only be a dozen or even a few of them. However, even if there were 3 or 4 of them, it was still a huge amount of resources for Wang Xian. "I'll set up the formation. You can watch from here," Wang Xian said to Invincible battle technique. "All right, Boss Wang. I'll watch the surroundings from here." Invincible battle technique nodded his head. Wang Xian concealed himself and walked forward carefully. Chains appeared around him one after another. Setting up an array would cause fluctuations in the array formation. This was unavoidable. However, Wang Xian didn't need to worry too much when facing the Earth Qilin turtle, which was at level 7 of the Eternal Divine Lord. Even if he didn't set up an array, he could still suppress it with his own strength. The Earth Qilin turtle's nest was right here. He didn't need to set up a formation with a black hole to disturb the air. It was sufficient to set up a few binding formations. Buzz buzz buzz. When Wang Xian started to set up the formation, it caused the surrounding energy fluctuations. Roar roar. Low roars came from the nest in front of him. Wang Xian immediately increased his speed. Roar roar roar. At this moment, a 50-meter-long Earth-scale turtle sea monster crawled out from one of the nests. It had a huge turtle shell on its yellowish-brown body. The shell looked as though it was covered with a layer of scales. Its head looked extremely ferocious, and it had extremely sharp teeth. I wonder how many there are. I hope there are more than a dozen of them. Wang Xian revealed an excited look in his eyes. Streams of water surged up and attacked the Earth-scale turtle directly. Roar! When Wang Xian made his move, furious roars came from the nest again. Figures crawled out one by one. 1, 2, 3. A total of 6. 6 Earth Qilin turtles. The strength of the sea monsters had nothing to do with their size. The size of the Eternal Kingdom also had nothing to do with their strength. 6. Not bad, not bad. A smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. 6 Earth Qilin turtles could be dealt with. If there were really 30 to 40 Earth Qilin turtles, he might not be able to deal with them. Surrender. Wang Xian waved his arm and set up a formation to attack the Earth Qilin turtles. There's a fluctuation over there. Sect leader, let your battle pet see if it's the aura of the Dragon Palace's battle pet boss. Just as Wang Xian was about to attack the Earth Qilin turtles, City Lord Jing, who was more than 1,000 kilometers away, said hurriedly, "Yes, let's go. We might be able to obtain a few level 7 Eternal God Lord War pets." The sect master's eyes were burning with passion. The sea monster nest map was an extremely precious item. Only someone with the strength of the northern city would possess such a treasure. "Let's go over immediately. Be careful and don't be discovered," the white-haired old man immediately said. The group immediately flew over. 1,000 kilometers wasn't too far for them. When they were over 100 kilometers away, they saw the situation with a mysterious gaze. The strength of an Eternal God Lord at level 8 isn't too bad. It's not very strong. 6 Earth Qilin turtles have already been bound by him. That's great. When City Lord Jing and Pavilion Master Zhong saw the scene below, they immediately said. Their eyes were filled with excitement. 8 people below the law level wait here. Let's do it. The white-haired elder immediately gave the order. Buzz! 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 In an instant, 7 people flew out and immediately attacked Wang Xian, who was 100 kilometers away. The white-haired elder in the middle was holding a confinement ring in his hand. His eyes were sparkling. Huh? What's going on? Boss Wang, be careful. He was already invincible when he was watching the battle from afar. He could sense it when the group of people arrived. When he saw that they were actually attacking Wang Xian, he immediately shouted out loud. Chapter 2333. 2333 2333 launched a sneak attack. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Wang Xian was about to subdue an earth Qilin turtle, he was reminded of the invincibility of his battle techniques. Following that, a surge of terrifying energy came from behind and engulfed him. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. He was taming the sea monster just now, so he didn't sense the situation around him immediately. Damn it! A hint of gloominess flashed across his eyes. There was actually someone who had ambushed him here. Roar! Roar! His heart skipped a beat. The only earth Qilin turtle that had been tamed by him headed straight for the position behind him. At the same time, he moved his body and dodged to the side. You want to escape? You killed the experts of our northern city, yet you still want to escape. Leave me alone, you damn thing. An extremely cold voice entered Wang Xian's ears. In an instant, a confinement circle appeared in the sky above him. The confinement circle emitted an incomparably resplendent energy that directly enveloped the top of Wang Xian's head. This caused his expression to change slightly. Bang! Owa! In the next moment, the earth Qilin turtle that was attacking Wang Xian was sent flying. A terrifying force was attacking Wang Xian. This is bad. His expression changed drastically. His gaze swept across the area, and his heart sank when he saw the 3 level 9 Eternal Lord experts in the lead. The current him was not even a match for one of them, let alone 3 of them. Furthermore, there were 4 level 8 Eternal Lord experts. They are from the city in the sky. They actually rushed over, and even found themselves. Wang Xian's heart sank. Wang Xian didn't care about killing the people from the city of sky, because no one knew that he was the one who killed them. So what if they knew? They wouldn't be able to find him either. Now Wang Xian realized that he had underestimated the experts from the city of sky. Oh no, why are there so many experts trying to kill Boss Wang? Did Boss Wang dig up their ancestral graves? Invincible's expression changed slightly when he saw that Wang Xian was locked onto by the confinement circle. It's my level 8 battle pet, the master of the eternal god. Invincible's face was filled with tears as he glared at the people from Sky City with anger. Invincible was naturally aware of the attire of their Sky City. Sky City, how dare you sneak attack people? I'm going to announce your crimes. If you dare to attack Boss Wang again, don't blame me for being impolite. Invincible battle technique roared. Humph. The few experts ignored Invincible battle technique's words and continued to attack Wang Xian. Damn it, this confinement circle has the effect of disturbing the air with a black hole. I can't return to my eternal divine kingdom at all. I can only escape. At this moment, Wang Xian's heart was burning with rage. A hint of ruthlessness flashed in his eyes as he hurriedly fled to the side. Capture him. We definitely can't let him escape. After killing our people, he still wants to escape? Wishful thinking. City Lord Jing roared loudly. The 3 powerhouses who had mastered the 9 laws suddenly accelerated. Damn it, if Boss Wang is captured, we are done for. My level 8 battle pet of the Eternal Master is also gone. Invincible battle technique's face was extremely dark. Invincible battle
he gritted
technique.
his teeth.
Behind
Boss
him,
Wang, come to
City
my
Lord
side.
Jing and
As
the
he
other
spoke,
2 accelerated
he took out
their
a bright
attacks.
fragment from his
Invincible
interspatial
battle
ring.
technique
The
held the
moment
shard
the fragment
in his hand
appeared
and threw
the
it
surrounding
towards them.
seawater suddenly
This is-
distorted.
Oh no, this
Huh.
is a law
Wang
shard.
Xian also
It's a
sensed
law
the
shard
terrifying
condensed by
energy
the immortal
from
king.
Invincible battle technique.
The white-haired old
Without
man was shocked
hesitation,
when he saw the
he
law
immediately
fragment
fled in
flying
his
towards
direction.
them. He shouted in
Damn it,
shock. How dare you
He
guys
quickly
attack
dodged
me,
to the
Boss Wang?
side.
Do you think
Boom.
I'm invincible
Wang
battle
Xian was
technique?
slightly
Stunned when he heard the exclamations behind him. Following that, he sensed an extremely terrifying explosion behind him. An extremely powerful energy swept over. In just an instant, Wang Xian spat out blood and felt that his back had completely exploded. The power of the law had destroyed his life force. The area where the law fragment exploded instantly evaporated hundreds of millions of kilometers of seawater. It was extremely terrifying. This fellow, Wang Xian stared at Invincible battle technique and gritted his teeth as he flew towards him with all his might. Boss Wang, take me with you.
Chapter
Let's escape
23:34.
together. Invincible battle technique
2334.
He wasn't afraid of the experts
The
from
other
Sky
party
City
is
attacking
actually
him.
able to find me.
He just didn't want
What
Wang
method is
Xian to
that?
be killed.
If it's not a
In his
formation,
opinion,
then what is it?
Wang Xian owed him an eternal
At the
Lord
bottom of
level
the
8
underground
battle
sea.
pet. Wang
If he
Xian
died,
was
he would
desperately
lose his
trying
battle
to
pet
escape.
as well.
This was the
Let's
first
go.
time he was in
Wang
such a
Xian
sorry
circulated
state
the dragon
since he
chi
came
in
to
his
the
body.
Tianza continent.
He didn't care about
It was
the
also the
consumption
first
of his
time he
dragon
was being
chi.
hunted down.
He immediately recovered from his
He was
injuries
extremely
and
furious
fled
towards the people
with
from
his
the city
invincible
in the
battle
sky.
technique.
He would remember
Cough,
this
cough,
grudge.
cough.
At
At
the
the
back,
time, the people
City
from
Lord
the city
Jing
in the sky
and the
wanted
sect
to
leader
kill
were
him.
coughing violently.
They wanted the black
Cracks
hole
appeared on their
spatial
bodies.
disturbance formation.
The two of them
However,
looked extremely
all of
miserable.
them were killed by
An
him.
earthen yellow
On the
aura
second
gathered on
day,
their wounds
there were
and
even
did
more
not
people.
dissipate.
Yet they still
Beside
had the
them,
cheek to
the
claim that they
white-haired
were
old
here
man
to
wiped
avenge
the
the
blood
people
from
who
his
were
mouth.
killed.
His
What a
face was
joke.
extremely pale.
Wang Xian's eyes were
However,
extremely
compared
cold.
to the other two,
However,
the injuries
was
on
very
his body were
surprised
much
that the
lighter.
other party could lock onto
Damn
him
it, it's
so
actually a
quickly.
law fragment.
After eliminating
That brat
the
actually has a
formation,
law
what else
fragment
is
on
there?
him. Aura, Jing City
That battle
leader's
pet with the
expression was
strange
extremely
nose.
ugly. Just
Wang
now,
Xian thought
he
of the
was almost
strange
killed
battle pet
instantly
behind
by
an
the law
old man.
fragment.
Eternal
Thus,
god lords
Wang
could
Xian's body
comprehend
shook.
laws.
The
And at the
dragon's might
undying
completely
emperor
surrounded
level,
him.
they could
As he
condense
continued
laws.
to fly
The
forward
power
at a
of the law
rapid
attack
speed.
was terrifying.
Roar. Even a
Roar.
fragment was
At
enough
this
to
moment,
heavily
the
injure
battle
them.
pet, which
At
was
this
running at a
time,
rapid
the
speed
two
about
of them had
500
less than 10%
kilometers behind
of their
him,
strength,
suddenly
only
let out a low
slightly
roar.
stronger than Eternal
It
God
stared
Lord
ahead with
level
some
8.
doubts.
Give
What's
chase.
wrong, Tianling?
We don't need to care
Pavilion
about that
Master
kid,
Zong's
who is
expression changed
invincible in
slightly,
battle.
and
But
he
we must
immediately
capture
asked
the other
battle
one.
pet. The
Ho,
white-haired
ho.
elder's
The battle
expression
pet
was
roared a few
extremely
times
ugly as well,
and transmitted
he
some
immediately
information
said
to the
him.
two of them.
Hearing
Let's
the
go.
information from the
City
battle
Lord
pet,
Jing
and the
Pavilion
sect
Master
leader
treated
treated
their
their
wounds
wounds
briefly.
became more
They
and more
gritted their
embarrassed.
teeth and continued to
Quick,
give
increase
chase.
the speed.
The other party
He
roared
roared
with
with
an
an icy
strength of
expression
level
and
8
flew
Eternal
forward
Lord
at high speed.
Even if they were severely injured,
the white-haired
they
old
were not
man
afraid.
and City Lord Jing
However,
frowned slightly
when they saw that
after
Wang
flying
Xian's
for
figure had
500
disappeared,
kilometers.
their
Pavilion
expressions
Master
turned
Zong
ugly.
suddenly stopped.
Give chase.
What's going on?
Everyone, seeing
Give
him
chase
stop.
with all your strength.
City Lord Jing
The
asked
effect
with
of
an
the
embarrassed
confinement
expression.
circle has not
We lost
disappeared
him.
yet.
His
He
aura
can't
has been
return to the
completely cut
eternal
off
divine
here.
kingdom.
We don't know which
The
direction
white-haired
he went.
elder clenched his fists
Pavilion
and shouted
Master
sternly.
Zong said with a
The
sullen
four
face,
level 8 Eternal
"Let's
Lord
split up."
powerhouses,
Pavilion
who were
Master
slower,
Zong
were only
you take
slightly
one person
affected
to the
by
top.
the impact.
Xiaoye,
Their
you
injuries
take
were
one
not
person
serious.
to the left.
At
The
this
two
moment,
of you go to the right.
their hearts were
I'll
palpitating.
continue to chase in the
when
front.
they heard the old City
Inform
Lord's
me
order,
immediately if we
they gritted
encounter
their
him.
teeth and immediately
He was also
gave
in the
chase.
aftermath of the
group of
explosion of the
7
law
chased in the
fragment.
direction where
The
Wang
confinement
Xian had
circle
disappeared.
still has more than 10
Boss
hours
Wang,
left.
how did
You
you
won't be
offend so
able to
many
run
experts
far.
from Sky City?
The white-haired
My law
elder
fragment.
ordered immediately
It
with
was
a
the
gloomy
only
face.
attack method that the
All right.
patriarch gave me.
Everyone nodded.
Now, in order
Without
to
any
save Boss
hesitation,
Wang,
you have
they
to use
began
it.
to pursue him.
Boss Wang,
At the same
you
time,
have to repay me
City
properly.
Lord Jing immediately
Invincible,
contacted
who
more
was
than
brought by
200
Wang
people
Xian,
not far away,
heaved a sigh of
and
relief
asked them
when
to
he
look
saw
for
that
him
the
as
enemies
well.
behind him had
Whoosh,
yet to chase
whoosh,
after him.
whoosh.
He couldn't help but
Just
shout
as the
at Wang
group of
Xian.
people split up to
Don't
pursue
worry.
Wang Xian.
Wang
The
Xian
sea
suppressed the
monsters that
killing
were
intent
hiding
at
at
the
his
bottom
heart
of the sea
and
attacked
ran
Wang
forward
Xian
with
one
all
by
his
one.
might. There were more than a dozen level 7 sea monsters that were the Eternal Lord. They were trying to entangle Wang Xian. Damn it! There are too many sea monsters at the bottom of the sea. It's too dangerous. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. He released all of his dragon might and suppressed the sea monsters. The terrifying aura caused them to pause for a moment. Wang Xian hurriedly fled. Roar! However, the sea monsters attacked Wang Xian directly, causing his expression to change drastically. Boss Wang, don't be restricted by the sea monsters. With a dark expression, he continued to flee forward. A voice that was invincible in battle rang in his ears. Don't even think about escaping. Wang Xian waved his arm. At this moment, and the destructive
a white-haired
force
old
of the
man
5
appeared
elements
at the back.
swept towards the
He
sea
stared
monsters.
at Wang Xian with eyes
Ayo.
filled with fury.
The miserable
A puny
shrieks
level
rang
8
out,
Eternal
and the
Lord
dozen
had
sea
actually
monsters
escaped
became
from his
even
hands.
angrier.
This made him
Wang
extremely
Xian's figure
furious.
was blocked for a few
However,
seconds.
he swore to capture him, not only to avenge the people of the northern city, but also for the rise of the the northern city. He must capture him. A bunch of beasts scram. However, when the old man flew forward, he just happened to bump into a dozen level 7 Eternal God Lord sea monsters. The furious sea monsters directly attacked him. He waved his arm and a majestic aura swept towards the sea monsters. However, Wang Xian's figure had already disappeared at this moment. He flew forward for a minute,
and immediately changed his direction to escape frantically. After fleeing for 2 hours, Wang Xian heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that there was no movement behind him. "Boss Wang, it's safe, it's safe." Invincible looked behind him and heaved a sigh of relief. It was good that Wang Xian was still alive. His war pet was still there. City in the sky, northern city. Wang Xian's eyes flashed with a cold glint. He looked behind him and spat out a cold voice. "Boss Wang, look to the right." "My goodness. Look, 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 stop and look." All of a sudden, an excited voice came from the side of Invincible battle technique. "Huh." He was slightly stunned and followed the gaze of Invincible battle technique. "What's that?" Wang Xian's pupils contracted slightly as astonishment appeared in his eyes. About 100 kilometers ahead, there was a colorful area. There were all kinds of seaweed. This was a strange domain at the bottom of the underground sea. That was not the main point. There was a sea monster wandering on top of it, a colorful dragon python. A colorful dragon python, a level 8 sea monster of the Eternal Lord rank. About 3,000 meters away from the warning, the body of the sea monster was colorful. It had a head that looked like a dragon's head, and it was full of majesty. Ha ha ha. There's always good fortune after surviving a great disaster. Boss Wang, there's always good fortune after surviving a great disaster. At the side, Invincible battle technique was roaring in excitement. His eyes were burning with excitement. Wang Xian looked at him and knew what he was thinking. This made Wang Xian's face turn black. He was still being chased by people. "Boss Wang, let's continue to work together and capture them. The area ahead might be the lair of the multicolored dragon pythons. Let's capture a few of them, haha." Invincible battle technique said excitedly to him. "There are still experts from Sky City chasing after us. I'm just courting death by capturing sea monsters here." Wang Xian looked at him speechlessly. If not for this fellow helping him, Wang Xian would have kicked him long ago. "Boss Wang, what are you afraid of?" "Of the 3 level 9 Eternal Lord experts who are chasing after you. 2 of them were severely injured by the law fragment. Their strength is only slightly stronger than level 8. Only 1 level 9 expert should be able to escape. Moreover, we have already escaped for 2 hours. The other party might have already lost track of us. Fortune comes with risk. Let's try our best to turn a bicycle into a motorcycle." Invincible battle technique stared at the multicolored dragon python in front of him with burning eyes. He was already imagining the mighty scene of him standing on the multicolored dragon python. 2 level 9 masters of the Eternal Lord were severely injured, and their strength was greatly reduced? Are you sure? Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at him. At that time, he was also attacked by the aftershocks. It had almost consumed all of his dragon energy, and even almost reduced his level. "I'm sure. Of course, I'm 100% sure. The law fragment given to me by the ancestor was no joke. I saw it with my own eyes at that time. How could it be fake?" Invincible in battle techniques confirmed. "Is that so?" A cold glint flashed across Wang Xian's eyes. Chapter 2335. 2335, 2335, in the midst of counterattack. 2 of them are severely injured, but they still possess the combat strength of a level 8. There are 4 other level 8 Eternal Masters, and 1 level 9 Eternal Master. With my current strength, it will be very difficult to kill a level 9 Eternal Master unless... Wang Xian was deep in thought. It was not impossible for Wang Xian to kill a level 9 Eternal Master. However, there was a prerequisite. He had to set up a formation and trap them in the formation. The strongest aspect of a formation master was to set up a formation. If he could set up more than a dozen formations, he would be able to severely injure the master of the Eternal God, even if he was 2 levels higher than him. If he was lucky, it was highly possible for him to kill the master of the Eternal God. With Wang Xian's current strength, setting up a formation would be able to fight against a level 8 master of the Eternal God. What if he set up more than a dozen formations? With more than a dozen formations activated in an instant, even a level 9 master of the Eternal God would be severely injured. But what if he set up more than 20? It was very likely that he would be able to kill them. But this kind of two-tier battle was very, very difficult for array masters. First, you had to control enough high-level arrays. Second, the enemy had to be drawn into the array. Especially the first point, the control of arrays. Could a rank 6 Eternal God Lord Array Master control more than 10 attack arrays of this level? It was very, very difficult. He had never even learned or even heard of so many offensive arrays. However, this was not a problem for Wuxia. The Celestial Emperor of Heaven Array was a Celestial Emperor after all. He controlled more than 10,000 arrays. He had at least 30 offensive arrays at level 7 of the Eternal Lord. If I set up more than 20 arrays myself, I can severely injure the level 9 of the Eternal Lord. After that, I can transform into a divine dragon and unleash all of my strength. Perhaps I can kill them. But what about the other 6 level 8 ones? Wuxia frowned slightly. Following that, he looked at the multicolored dragon python in front of him. He was a little hesitant. I'll take a gamble. Even if I'm severely injured, I won't let those guys off easily. Wuxia clenched his fists tightly. His eyes were flashing with fury and killing intent. Idiot, I'll set up the formations here first. Later on, you'll attract the multicolored dragon python over. Wuxia said to Invincible Battle Technique. Ha, Boss Wang, a wise choice. Haha. Invincible Battle Technique was filled with excitement. Without any hesitation, Wuxia immediately set up a concealment formation in the surroundings. He set up a black hole disturbance formation and set up attack formations one after another. As for Invincible Battle Technique, he was on alert in the surroundings to prevent the experts from Sky City from pursuing him. After 5 to 6 minutes, Wuxia set up the formation and gestured at him. Haha, my colorful dragon python mount, Invincible in Battle Techniques, is here. Invincible in Battle Techniques flew toward the colorful area in front of him with excitement. Roar! Bang! In less than 3 minutes, a roar was heard. Accompanied by a human figure, the figure flew backward at a terrifying speed. Beast, this beast! How dare you treat your master like this? You're finished. From now on, I, Invincible Battle Technique, will starve you every day. An extremely arrogant and furious voice came from Invincible Battle Technique's mouth. He pointed at the multicolored dragon python that was attacking him and cursed loudly. When the multicolored dragon python saw that an ant was not killed by his attack, it still dared to provoke him and charged towards him angrily. Boom! When he saw the multicolored dragon python entering the formation, he activated the formation one by one. Whoosh! 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 The entire space was entangled with the formation, attacking the formation and restraining the multicolored dragon python. Submit to me. In order to save time, Wuxia moved his body. His arm turned into a dragon claw as he clawed at the multicolored dragon python. Roar! With the assistance of the formation and Wuxia's full strength, the level 8 war pet of the Eternal Celestial Master had no room to fight back. Roar! Soon, a multicolored dragon python let out a few low moans. Wuxia immediately began to tame it. 10 minutes later, Wuxia removed the formation. It's a success! The moment the formation was removed, Invincible Battle Technique ran over excitedly and stared at him passionately. I've succeeded. Let's continue. Let's see if we can tame a few more. Wuxia said to him. Haha, don't worry, Boss Wang. Leave it to me. I found another one just now. This land of colorful seaweed and coral is really the lair of the colorful dragon pythons. Invincible Battle Technique roared excitedly and immediately flew in. Wuxia immediately began to set up the formation. There's no need for too many. If I can get 4 or 5 multicolored dragon pythons, I can fight against the experts of the city in the sky. Wuxia's eyes were flashing with a cold glint. As long as there were 4 or 5 of them, he could fight against them. Even if he had to sacrifice a few multicolored dragon pythons, he wouldn't hesitate. Perhaps it was really possible that Wuxia would have a blessing in the future if he survived the calamity. This piece of seaweed and coral was the lair of the multicolored dragon pythons. In just a short 6 hours, Invincible battle technique had attracted 4 multicolored dragon pythons. Ha, Boss Wang, there are 4 of them. If we stay here for a month or 2, won't we be able to tame dozens of them? When the time comes, Boss Wang, give me 1 more. Invincible battle technique said excitedly to Wang Xian. A few dozen? You're overthinking it. Wang Xian glanced at him and raised his head to look at the confinement ring above his head. This confinement ring was very special. It had been almost 10 hours and it had not disappeared. Boss Wang, the confinement ring above your head should be disappearing soon. You don't have to worry after it has completely disappeared. Invincible battle technique looked over and said to him. The confinement circle was a bunch of confinement weapons forged by the experts who had used up their own strength. If they were hit by the confinement circle, they could either break it with their powerful strength or wait for the energy to run out. The confinement circle above Wang Xian's head was forged by the peak of the Eternal Divine Lord. He couldn't break it. The value of such a confinement circle was extremely high. Is it going to disappear soon? Those experts from the city in the sky shouldn't give up on tracking me before the confinement circle disappears. Wang Xian mumbled. The 4 multicolored dragon pythons had already entered his expectations. If he wanted to subdue them again, it might take a longer time. When the imprisonment ring disappears, the other party might leave. I'll give it my all. Wang Xian exuded a cold aura. He looked around and immediately began to set up formations. This time, he wanted to set up more than 20 formations to wait for their arrival. When that time came, it was uncertain who would kill who. Moreover, even if they were no match for each other, the confinement circle above their heads would disappear. If they could not beat them, they would flee. It was a good opportunity to return to the Dragon Palace. Chapter 2336. 2336, 2336 counterattacked. Boss Wang, what are you doing? Are you going to continue capturing and taming the multicolored dragon pythons? Then I will continue to attract them. Invincible battle technique was puzzled when he saw Wang Xian setting up a formation there. There were not many multicolored dragon pythons in this area now. He needed to change his location. No, I'm setting up a killing formation. Wang Xian shook his head. A strong killing intent shot out from his body. One by one, formations were formed in the void. Killing formation. Invincible was stunned for a moment. Boss Wang, aren't you going to? He suddenly widened his eyes and looked at Wang Xian, who was filled with killing intent. When he saw the terrifying formations being formed one after another, his face revealed a look of shock. Boss Wang, they have a nearly intact level 9 master of the Eternal God. There are at least 6 or 7 level 8 masters. Invincible battle technique said hurriedly. Wang Xian ignored him and continued to set up the formations. Boss Wang, can you help me tame a multicolored dragon python first? If you help me tame it, I'll kill you. Invincible battle technique's expression changed drastically as he looked at Wang Xian with a bitter expression. Boss Wang, you didn't tame those multicolored dragon pythons to help you kill them, right? No, what if the multicolored dragon pythons are killed by them? Boss Wang, don't think too hard. It's never too late for us to take revenge. Don't be so reckless. Invincible battle technique's face turned black as he tried to persuade Wang Xian. He was really worried that Wang Xian would die in a head-on battle with that group of people. He was worried that the 4 multicolored dragon pythons would be killed. That would be a huge loss for him. He had used a law fragment. Looks like this guy is really petty. Wasn't he just ambushed and killed by others? He didn't lose any meat. Seeing that Wang Xian ignored him, his face turned black as he muttered softly. The last time, he owed him some elixirs and went straight to the battlefield. This guy was narrow-minded, and he would not provoke him in the future. Since he could not persuade Wang Xian, he could only watch from the side. After a while, he started to scold the people of the city in the sky again. You bunch of darn guys. Why did you have to provoke Wang Xian? Time passed slowly. As Wang Xian was not familiar with the formation, it took him an entire hour to set up more than 20 formations. At this moment his face was a little pale. Setting up more than 20 formations had consumed a lot of his energy. He took out a pill and swallowed it straight into his mouth to recover the energy he had consumed. Phew! Looking at the confinement circle above his head, Wang Xian could sense that it could only last for 20 minutes at most. It's about time to move. I just don't know if the group of people have left yet. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he removed the draconic aura that covered his aura. At the same time, he waved his arm and 4 colorful dragon pythons appeared in front of him. Chinibu, find a place to hide first. I'll see if I can attract the group of people over. Wang Xian looked at Invincible battle technique at the side. Don't die. Invincible battle technique's face darkened as he spoke to Wang Xian. He looked at the multicolored dragon pythons with some heartache and flew towards the back. Fight! Wang Xian had an idea and immediately ordered the 4 multicolored dragon pythons. Roar! 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 The 4 multicolored dragon pythons let out a furious roar and attacked Wang Xian directly. The terrifying energy was wreaking havoc in the surroundings without any concealment. It could be felt within a radius of more than 100,000 kilometers. Bastard, you're courting death. Under the sudden attack of the 4 colorful dragon pythons, he could severely injure at least 3 to 4 level 8 Eternal Lord experts. He could even kill 3 to 4 of them. Coupled with the formation set up by Wang Xian, he might really be able to trap and kill level 9 Eternal Lord experts. How sinister. I really can't afford to provoke him in the future. Invincible in combat muttered to himself. Damn it, damn it. The effect of the confinement circle is about to wear off. At this moment, more than 100 people were gathered in a place deep in the underground sea. The white-haired old man in the middle looked extremely embarrassed. He looked around and clenched his fists. This time, City Lord Jing and Pavilion Master Zong were heavily injured, and their strength was less than 10%. In order to chase after that guy, everyone took a huge risk. In the past 10 hours, more than 10 of their subordinates were ambushed by powerful sea monsters and died. Among them, 50 to 60 were injured and fled back to the Eternal Divine Kingdom. After all, this was the lowest level of the underground sea, and it was full of dangers. 10 hours had wasted a lot of resources, and there were even less than a dozen people, but that guy had escaped. In 2 days, more than 20 experts in the northern city had died because of him. How could he be willing? The rest of the people also had ugly expressions on their faces. Waves of tyrannical aura rushed out in all directions. Sigh, we're going back just like that. City Lord Jing's face was extremely pale, and his body looked a little hunched. There's no other way. Perhaps he's already. Roar, roar. Pavilion Master Zong shook his head unwillingly. However, before he could finish his words, the battle pet beside him suddenly cried out. Oh! Pavilion Master Zong was slightly taken aback, and a stunned expression appeared on his face. Tianling, what did you say? You can smell that person's aura? Pavilion Master Zong hurriedly asked in pleasant surprise. Ayo. The battle pet nodded its head. Smell it? Let's go over immediately. Before the confinement circle disappears, we absolutely cannot give up. Capture him and obtain that formation. The white-haired old man's aura trembled, and he immediately roared. Let's go. Without the slightest bit of hesitation, the group flew in a certain direction under the guidance of their battle pets. There's a shockwave coming from the battle ahead. A very strong shockwave. The group flew for about 10 million kilometers before they suddenly sensed the shockwave coming from the battle ahead of them. They were momentarily stunned. Let's go. We have to go there now. A glint flashed across the white-haired elder's eyes as he accelerated immediately. The rest of them had a gleam in their eyes as well. They had a premonition. Buzz. When they got close to Wang Xian, they immediately saw the pet owner of the Dragon Palace, who was surrounded by 4 multicolored dragon pythons. At this moment, he looked extremely miserable. He was barely able to withstand the attacks of the 4 multicolored dragon pythons. Ha 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 ha. I didn't expect that fellow to be entangled by the multicolored dragon pythons. The heavens are really helping me. The heavens want to build our northern city, ha ha ha. When City Lord Jing saw this scene, he couldn't help but laugh wildly. It should be that he encountered the multicolored dragon pythons when he was escaping. He couldn't return to the eternal divine kingdom due to the imprisonment ring above his head. His aura was sensed when he fought with the multicolored dragon pythons. Even the heavens are helping us. The white-haired elder's face was also filled with excitement. Chapter 2337. 2337. Kill the experts of the northern city. Everyone in the northern city was extremely excited. They never thought that God would help them so much when they were about to lose all hope of capturing the boss of the Dragon Palace's battle pets. At the last moment, the opponent was attacked by 4 colorful dragon pythons. His hidden aura was exposed again and was discovered by them. Old City Lord, we don't need to fight at all. He has been seriously injured by the multicolored dragon pythons. He might be dying soon. An 8th-level Eternal Master said to the white-haired old man with excitement. The pet boss of the Dragon Palace was injured by the 4 multicolored dragon pythons. They didn't need to fight, and that guy couldn't escape either. They could capture him effortlessly, and once they captured him, they would gain a lot of benefits. No, the confinement circle above his head will soon disappear. Once it disappears, he can immediately escape. Besides, if the multicolored dragon pythons kill him, then our losses will be huge. Make a move now. The white-haired old man shook his head and stared at the front with burning eyes. He turned his eyes to everyone and ordered. The ancestor is right. Attack immediately. City Lord Jing immediately nodded. At this moment, his pale face was flushed red, and his face was filled with excitement. The rise of Northern City was right before his eyes. We'll directly charge over. Pavilion Master Zong's face was also filled with excitement. His body moved, and he directly charged forward. The white-haired old man, City Lord Jing, and the others did not hesitate at all. They directly flew toward the battlefield. Behind them, a few eternal celestial lords at level 8 followed them. This time, they must not let that guy escape. He's here. This time, all of you will die. At this moment, when he saw a figure rushing towards him, a hint of killing intent flashed in Wang Xian's eyes. His plan was going very smoothly. Damn it! At this moment, he still had to put on a show. Wang Xian's face revealed a ferocious expression. He looked at the group of them and stubbornly resisted the attacks of the multicolored dragon pythons. Ha ha ha, run! Where do you think you're going to run to this time? Kids, surrender! When City Lord Jing saw Wang Xian's ferocious expression, he laughed out loud. He was in a great mood as he roared. Boom! 4 beasts scram! The white-haired old man's body shook. His level 9 aura, which belonged to the Eternal Lord, burst out. His terrifying aura pressed down on the 4 multicolored dragon pythons. Roar! Roar! The 4 multicolored dragon pythons stared at them vigilantly. They stopped their attacks and retreated to the side uneasily. They swayed their bodies slightly. Ha ha ha, where are you going to run to now? The white-haired elder saw the fear in the eyes of the 4 multicolored dragon pythons and laughed out loud. He stretched out his palm and grabbed at Wang Xian. His eyes were filled with excitement. Behind him, City Lord Jing and the sect leader were doing the same. Boom, boom, boom. However, the moment they stepped into the center of the formation, the moment they flew to the left and right of the 4 multicolored dragon pythons, the formation was activated in an instant. Even though the formation used a concealing formation, those who were stronger than Wang Xian could still sense the fluctuation of the formation around them. Fortunately, the energy from Wang Xian's battle with the 4 multicolored dragon pythons had concealed the fluctuation of the formation. In addition, the people from the northern city were filled with excitement. They didn't look carefully and stepped into the area of the formation. The moment the array formation was activated, the surrounding scene changed greatly. Boom, boom, boom. 1 array formation was activated, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and all the way to the 23rd array formation were all activated. 23 array formations, 17 offensive array formations. A total of 17 array formations that were enough to severely injure an eternal god lord of the 8th rank. 17 array formations exploded together at the same time, and their power was extremely terrifying. You dare to sneak attack me and chase after me. Today, I want to see who will kill who. At this moment, the injuries on Wang Xian's body disappeared instantly. The injuries on his body were originally just a disguise. Roar! This time, he didn't hesitate at all and instantly transformed into a divine dragon. Boom! 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 The aura of the formation fell. Roar! 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 The 4 colorful dragon pythons on both sides also attacked them. All of the explosions happened in an instant. Crap! What's going on? This is an ambush. At this moment, the expressions of the white-haired elder and the other 3 changed dramatically. Their excited expressions instantly disappeared and turned into shock and anger. The terrifying array formation attack, the attack from the 4 multicolored dragon pythons on the left and right, and the owner of the Dragon Palace pet shop in front suddenly turned into a powerful creature. Everything was out of their expectations. Block! The white-haired elder's heart sank as he roared with a ferocious expression. Block! Block! The other 6 also roared and unleashed their strongest defenses. Boom! 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 17 attack formations covered them completely. The attacks from the 4 multicolored dragon pythons also covered them. Roar! Wang Xian opened his huge mouth and charged toward them with the destruction of the laws. Bang! 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 The sound of explosions rang in the formation. The black hole disturbance formation at the outermost part of the formation shook slightly and almost collapsed. As for the position at the center, it could no longer be seen clearly. No, old city lord, city lord, save me. All of a sudden, a blood-curdling scream came from within. Patriarch, save me. At this moment, even City Lord Jing's cry for help rang out. City Lord Jing and the sect leader were both at level 9 of the Eternal Lord. However, under the attack of the law fragment, their injuries were extremely serious. If it wasn't for the fact that they were chasing after Wang Xian, they would have gone back to recuperate. However, this time, they might not have a chance. Streams of terrifying energy exploded one after another. Wang Xian looked over coldly. He could sense that the auras inside were disappearing. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. More than 10 seconds later, a figure suddenly dashed out from inside. The figure's entire body was extremely miserable. It was only half of its body. At this moment, he was staring at Wang Xian with a blood-red face. He was like a demon that came from the abyss to demand his life. Hee. Wang Xian stared at the half-figure that rushed out and sneered. It might be difficult to kill a level 9 Eternal Lord with such a terrifying attack. However, it was still possible to inflict serious injuries on him. At this moment, his injuries were even more serious than those of City Lord Jing and the sect leader. Kill! However, Wang Xian was not careless. He roared and ordered the 4 colorful dragon pythons to attack the white-haired elder. I'm not reconciled. I'm not reconciled. I'm going to kill you. At this moment, another figure flew out. It was the sect leader of the Pet God Pavilion. He didn't seem to be seriously injured in the attack just now. He might have used his treasure to block some of it. He wanted to escape, but he found that he couldn't return to his eternal divine kingdom at all. Since he couldn't escape, he would kill the pet owner of the Dragon Palace. Kill with all his might. Chapter 2338. 2338 2338 Killed an expert from Northern City. Only the 2 of you are still alive. Don't even think about leaving today. This is the result of ambushing and hunting me down. Seeing that the 2 of them were still alive, Wang Xian's face was filled with awe. He swayed his 10,000-meter-long dragon body and charged straight at them. Now that their injuries were so severe, Wang Xian was not afraid of them at all. Roar! He let out a furious roar. The 5 elemental laws on his dragon claws flickered as he attacked the 2 of them. On both sides, 4 colorful dragon pythons were also attacking them. What kind of existence are you? At this moment, when the white-haired old man saw Wang Xian's form, his eyes were filled with shock. A human could transform into a creature that was 10,000 meters long. He is a dragon, a divine dragon. That's right, he is a divine dragon. That's not right. The divine dragon doesn't seem to be emitting rainbow rays of light. No, what exactly are you? The sect leader stared at Wang Xian, and his expression changed drastically. A powerful pressure and a terrifying figure. As a beast tamer master, he knew a lot of sea monsters, desolate beasts, and even space beasts. He had seen the picture of the divine dragon in an ancient book. It was exactly the same as the current Wang Xian. However, the divine dragon in the ancient book was not colorful. Dead man. You don't need to know too much. Wang Xian roared and swung his dragon claw down. Damn it. You are a guy who has mastered 8 laws. How dare you kill me? Even if I am seriously injured, I can still kill you before I die. The white-haired old man roared furiously with a blood-red face. A huge mirror appeared in front of him. The white light attacked Wang Xian's dragon claws directly. Boom, boom, boom. While he was attacking, the 2 multicolored dragon pythons were also attacking him. His expression changed slightly. His body trembled as white mirrors appeared around him and revolved around him. Bang, bang, bang. The multicolored dragon python's attack landed on his body and was blocked by him. In front of him, Wang Xian's dragon claw landed in the white glow and was blocked too. As expected of an expert at level 9 of the Eternal Lord, even with such serious injuries, he still possesses such powerful strength. Wang Xian's eyes focused. He opened his dragon head, and a terrifying energy engulfed him. Go to hell. The white-haired old man had a ferocious look on his face. He was determined to die as he charged at Wang Xian with all his might. Roar! Roar! Wang Xian let out a low roar, and the 2 multicolored dragon pythons immediately coiled around him. The 2 multicolored dragon pythons also attacked him without any regard for their lives. I'm just trying to fight for my life. Trying to kill me is just wishful thinking. A cold smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. He moved his body and waved his dragon claws. Streams of energy tore towards him. The 2 colorful dragon pythons were entangled around him. They were fighting with their lives and exchanging injuries for injuries. Get lost! The white-haired elder looked extremely embarrassed when he saw the 2 colorful dragon pythons attacking him without any regard for their lives. This time, they were completely defeated. He never expected that all of this was a trap set up by the other party. An Eternal Lord level 8 powerhouse actually dared to set up a trap to kill their group of powerhouses. There was also that terrifying array formation, which had a total of 17 offensive arrays. In addition, there were 4 multicolored dragon pythons. What kind of existence did we provoke? This time, he felt some regret in his heart. The current him could kill an Eternal Lord rank 8 existence with his life, but would the result be like this? After killing a multicolored dragon python, he completely perished. This time not only am I doomed, the entire northern city is also doomed. His face was filled with despair and malevolence. I can't accept this. I must kill him, kill him. The white-haired old man went crazy. He controlled the divine weapon and attacked Wang Xian crazily. The more he fought, the more severe the injuries on his body became. The multicolored dragon python didn't care about his life at all as it coiled around him. Wang Xian, who was in front of him, wasn't injured at all. On the side, 2 multicolored dragon pythons were coiled around the sect leader. The sect leader, who was already injured, could only endure the attacks of the 2 multicolored dragon pythons. As for the center area, at the center of the explosion, there were corpses lying there. There were 4 level 8 Eternal Lord experts and 1 level 9 Eternal Lord, City Lord Jing. He had fallen under the cover of the array formation. What's going on? What happened? Why did the array formation suddenly appear? And the terrifying energy that passed through it. At this moment, more than 100 people from the northern city were staring blankly at the massive array formation that had suddenly appeared in front of them. From the array formation, they could feel waves of power that made their hearts palpitate. The array formation that suddenly appeared, we, our Lord City Lord, the old Lord City Lord, and the others are most likely ambushed. An eternal God Lord rank 7 old man's expression changed drastically as he growled in a low voice. In this situation, there was a 100% chance that they had been ambushed. Since they dared to ambush them, they definitely had confidence. The old man's words caused everyone in the surroundings to panic. If something really happened to the City Lord and the old City Lord, then the entire northern city would be in a complete decline. I hope nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Some people mumbled. Haha, you bunch of damned fellows from Sky City actually dared to provoke Boss Wong. You must be out of luck now. HMPH, Boss Wong has set up dozens of formations. The people who are surrounded by the formations are probably going to die soon. At this moment, the voice of Invincible in battle techniques rang out. He saw Wang Xian trapping all the experts and kept praying in his heart. When he saw the people from the northern city, his face was filled with anger. He could not help but provoke them. Invincible in battle techniques, you are also the one who harmed our city in the sky. Our patriarch knows about this, and will definitely not let you off. When the people heard his words, they looked extremely embarrassed. They looked at him with murderous intent. HMPH, who are you threatening? My patriarch is also a godly monarch. I, Invincible in combat arts, will be afraid of you. If you dare to sneak attack us, you are courting death. Invincible in combat arts roared at them without any fear. You. Everyone's expressions changed as they glared viciously at Invincible in combat arts. However, they did not dare to attack. There was no need to say if they could crack the defensive cardinal treasures on their opponents. Even if they were invincible in battle techniques, they didn't dare to attack rashly. Otherwise, if the land of battle techniques got angry, the northern city wouldn't be able to quell their anger. Humph, a bunch of trash. Invincible in battle techniques glanced at them with disdain, his eyes fixed on the true formation. Boss Wong, you mustn't be in trouble. He mumbled to himself. Ah, die. You bastard, die. An extremely shrill voice rang out from within the formation. The old man's face was filled with malevolence as he attacked a multicolored dragon python in front of him. An attack that didn't care about his life. He die. When Wang Xian saw the white-haired old man's attack before his death, his face was filled with mockery. A dragon claw finger landed on his head when he was killing a multicolored dragon python. I actually died at the hands of a puny level 8 Eternal Lord. What a joke! As death approached, his face was filled with unwillingness. The white-haired old man had fallen. They deserved to die for their crimes. Invincible said indignantly, but his mouth almost opened in excitement. He didn't care how many he killed. As long as he could get one, it would be enough. The mount of an Eternal God Lord Tier 8. Imagine if he rode an Eternal God Lord Tier 8 colorful dragon python and walked around in the sky above the Battle Technique City. The female fans of the fan club should be able to break through 50 billion. He mumbled and couldn't be more excited. Chapter 2340. 2340 returned with a full load. In the hall, everyone was staring at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man was the descendant of the old City Lord, the son of City Lord Jing, and now had the strength of an Eternal Lord Tier 5. In the future, he had a 90% chance of inheriting the position of City Lord. But now the old ancestor was dead, his father was dead, and Northern City was practically dead in name. Either the other cities were allowed to merge, or the main city sent people to take over. How could the middle-aged man be willing to let this go? How could he not take revenge? The rest of the people were slightly silent. They would also suffer a huge loss from the loss of the Northern City this time. Alright, I support it. The owner of the Dragon Palace's war pet shop killed our City Lord. We must take revenge for this. We are not his match, but it's easy for the experts of Sky City to kill him. He only killed the City Lords by relying on schemes and tricks. Once the experts of Sky City attacked them,
He won't live long. An old man stood up. He used to be the trusted aide of City Lord Jing. Okay, do you have any objections? The Tier 8 old man in the center swept his gaze across everyone and said indifferently. No objections. We must avenge the city lords and pay with blood. Everyone immediately shouted. All right, we will immediately contact the city lords. The old man nodded, waved at everyone, and immediately began to leave. The rest of the people immediately left. At the same time, the Sky City's main city. The Sky City in the void was incomparably vast. The main city was filled with palaces and god kingdoms. Even the god kingdoms of many eternal god lords were placed there. Here, the Sky City's god king was in charge. It was extremely safe to place the eternal god kingdoms there. Commander, there's an urgent message from the northern city. A middle-aged man stepped into a palace and spoke to a vast figure sitting on a throne. Wang. The figure waved his arm, and the figure of an 8th-ranked elder appeared in front of him. Where is your city lord? What do you want to report? The elder in the image of the figure shrouded in divine light asked indifferently. The former vice city lord of the northern city pays his respects to the commander. The commander has made the decision for our northern city. The old city lord, the city lord, and the other rank 8 experts of the northern city have all been killed by the traitors. We request the commander to help us take revenge. The elder directly knelt on the ground and said loudly. What? Jing Yu and the northern kingdom of Jing have fallen? What on earth is going on? The divine light fluctuated a little, and the voice of the figure inside turned cold. 2 Tier 9 Eternal Lord experts had fallen. This was a great loss to the entire Sky City, especially since they were the city lords of the northern city, who dared to kill the experts of their Sky City. This was a complete provocation to the Sky City. Commander, father and ancestor were killed by the owner of the Dragon Palace's pet shop. A middle-aged man appeared on the screen and said angrily. We will make the decision for the 2 city lords of the northern city. No one can provoke the Sky City. Dozens of seconds later, the figure shrouded in divine light said slowly. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Commander. The middle-aged man quickly thanked him. The figure shrouded in divine light waved his arm, and the image disappeared. Buzz, buzz, buzz. With a thought, he passed the news to some people in the main city. Commander Duan. Soon, 7 or 8 figures appeared in the hall and greeted the figure in front of them. You all know the news. Let's talk about the situation in the North City. Commander Duan said to them. I asked a person in the North City just now. There's a discrepancy in the information. The North City provoked the enemy first, and then they were tricked and killed. An elder said directly. I don't care about anything else. It's true that the enemy killed our people. Those who killed us have to die. Although the North City has declined, it's still one of the 18 cities. The city in the sky can't be offended. An old man beside him said directly. I've already sent people to investigate the identity of the owner of the Dragon Palace's war pet shop. Now that formation is the key. One of the old men followed closely and spoke. After he finished speaking, the surroundings quieted down. This kind of formation can only be mastered by some of the powerful warriors of the Witch Formation Association. That lord from the mysterious sky domain also can't master it, right? An old man muttered. It is said that the Success Wizard Association has this kind of array formation. This kind of array formation can only be grasped by very few people in the Success Wizard Association. That lord has never seen him use it before, so it should not be possible. Commander Duan said slowly. What kind of existence was the Success Wizard Association? One of the top existences in the Greater Thousand World, Void God Emperor was overseeing it. The boss of the Dragon Palace War Pet should have a very big relationship with that lord. One of them frowned slightly. Regardless of whether he has a relationship or not, he has to pay the price for killing our people. I agree, but we can't do it openly. Send out the Sky War God Squad and find an opportunity to capture him. Inform the progenitor of this matter. The old men immediately spoke up.
Even if they knew that the boss of the Dragon Palace's war pet had a very close relationship with a godly monarch, that formation was still worthy of them taking action. A formation that was extremely precious even in the Wizard Association, let alone to them. Revenge was just an excuse. In the underground sea, Wang Xian didn't know that he had formed a deadly enmity with the city in the sky. He also didn't know that a group of experts at the pinnacle of the Eternal God Lord was eyeing him. Invincible Battle Technique continued to search for the multicolored dragon pythons. Perhaps it was because of the battle, or there were only 4 multicolored dragon pythons in this area. Invincible continued to search outside for 5 days, but he did not encounter any multicolored dragon pythons. This made Wang Xian feel a little helpless. The level 8 sea monsters of the Eternal Lord were not cabbages in the depths of the underground sea. Otherwise, the humans in the Tianzi continent would have been wiped out long ago. Boss Wang, why don't we continue to search? Invincible did not slack off this time as he spoke to Wang Xian. There's no need. I've been out for more than 20 days. It's time to go back. Wang Xian shook his head. He would go back and level up first. Next time, he would be able to fight against the level 9 sea monster of the Eternal Lord. Alright. Let's go back immediately. Invincible was a little excited when he heard Wang Xian's words. Although he had used up the law fragment given to him by his ancestor this time, he had managed to exchange it for a multicolored dragon python battle pet. He had made a huge profit. Most importantly, he could pretend to be 13 again. Let's go. Following that, Invincible Battle Technique flew out excitedly. He flew out from the surface of the sea and headed straight for the nearest city in the City of Battle Technique. When he arrived at the city, Wang Xian did not follow him back to the City of Battle Technique. Instead, he went straight back to the Xian Heaven domain through the formation. The harvest this time was extremely huge for Wang Xian. Close to 400 war pets at the level of the Eternal Lord would be able to upgrade him by 1.5 levels, or even more. Chapter 2341. 2341 Dragon Palace's war pets were well known. Wang Xian was making his way to the Xian Heaven domain through the teleportation formation. At the same time, Invincible Battle Technique was also making his way to Battle Technique City through the teleportation formation. Compared to Wang Xian, Invincible Battle Technique was very close to Battle Technique City. Furthermore, as the city where the Patriarch of Battle Technique City was located, he could teleport there directly. However, Invincible in Combat Arts did not return to Combat Arts City directly. Instead, he made 2 transfers to the nearest city in Combat Arts City. After coming out from the teleportation formation, Invincible in Combat Arts raised his head and scanned his surroundings. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he exuded an invincible aura. That's right, it was the aura of invincibility in the world. At this moment, he felt that he was an invincible existence. His body moved and he flew into the sky, looking down at the entire city. Next, the entire world will be shocked by my invincible battle techniques. Invincible Battle Techniques could not help but laugh wildly. His body shook and he shouted, "Summon battle pets, multicolored dragon pythons." His voice resounded through the sky. Roar! In the next moment, an incomparably terrifying aura came from below him, and his roar resounded through the entire sky of the city. At this moment, the expressions of all the experts within the city changed drastically, and many of them revealed terrified expressions. Under the body of Invincible Battle Technique, a multicolored dragon python appeared. He stood on the head of the multicolored dragon python, exuding an inexhaustible sense of elegance and arrogance. But at this moment, his mouth was wide open like a child's torn crotch. Invincible Battle Technique is passing by, and has disturbed all the elders. He saw many experts nervously soaring into the sky, and the corners of his mouth slightly curled up as he said indifferently, "What? Invincible in Battle Technique?" "It's invincible in Battle Technique, young master." When everyone heard this voice, a shocked expression appeared on their faces. "Dragon Python, let's go to the Battle Technique City." Invincible in Battle Technique lightly ordered. Roar roar. The multicolored dragon python let out a wild roar and directly flew in the direction of the battle technique city. Below, everyone revealed an extremely shocked expression. The battle technique was invincible. He actually had an Eternal God Lord rank 8 multicolored dragon python battle pet. This was an Eternal God Lord rank 8. In the entire Tianzi continent, there was no such terrifying battle pet. Everyone in the entire city was extremely shocked. Young Master Invincible is doing this on purpose, right? He came out from the teleportation array and summoned his battle pet to fly towards the battle technique city. It's completely unnecessary. He can totally teleport to the battle technique city. On the top of the tallest building in the city, a middle-aged man said to the old man beside him with a speechless face. It's also good to let the entire Tianzi continent experience invincible strength. The old man looked at it with a smile instead. The news of Invincible riding on the colorful dragon python of the level 8 Eternal God Lord quickly spread on the AI. At this time, the main character was standing on top of the colorful dragon python's head excitedly, and his face was slightly distorted. There was nothing he could do. The multicolored dragon python's speed was too fast, and he was somewhat unable to stand steadily. But even so, his eyes were still filled with light. In front of us is the battle technique city. Take a circle, dragon python with a roar. Let everyone know that I, Invincible in battle technique, am coming. Invincible in battle technique patted the multicolored dragon python and said with a loud laugh, "Roar, roar, roar." The multicolored dragon python's roar shook the entire battle technique city. In an instant, all the experts in the battle technique city looked at the sky and immediately flew over. There were 5 or 6 peak Eternal God Lord experts flying over. It's invincible. Invincible on top. The peak Eternal God Lord expert, who was the first to fly out, was also stunned when he saw the multicolored dragon python's invincible battle technique. The last time he rode on the ice drill crocodile, which was a rank 5 Eternal God Lord, had already shocked them. Now he was an Eternal God Lord tier 8 multicolored dragon python, which was a full 3 ranks higher. Even peak experts like them couldn't get an Eternal God Lord tier 8 multicolored dragon python battle pet. Such a battle pet would be considered a top-tier expert in the field of battle techniques. Invincible, this battle pet of yours, this. An old man couldn't help but ask. How are you, grandfathers? Haha, aren't you handsome? Wait a moment. I want to take a tour around the battle technique city. Invincible battle technique said proudly. He patted the multicolored dragon python and began to circle around the battle technique city. Below, many powerful figures rushed into the sky and stared at Invincible battle technique with their mouths agape. In the city, everyone raised their heads and slightly opened their mouths, filled with disbelief. Their Invincible young master actually had an Eternal God Lord rank 8 multicolored dragon python battle pet. Big brother, he. In the center of the battle technique city, Jean Fationne looked at her big brother and slightly opened her mouth. On the side, their father's face was a bit dark. His own kid got such a terrifying battle pet. Didn't it mean that his strength was even stronger than his? Invincible young master, you this? Where did this battle pet come from? On the lower seat, a beauty looked at the multicolored dragon python battle pet with infatuation and asked. Hee, it's just a level 8 battle pet of the Eternal Celestial Master. It was given to me by my boss Wang. Oh, Boss Wang is the boss of the Dragon Palace battle pet. Next time when I'm stronger, I'll look for him to exchange for a stronger battle pet. Seeing the beautiful lady staring at him, Invincible battle technique said nonchalantly. At this moment, he didn't mind giving Wang Xian a boost. After all, he was a big shot now and needed to hug him tightly. This is the Dragon Palace's war pet given to young Master Invincible. Below, everyone took a deep breath when they heard his words. Their faces were filled with shock. Brat, get your ass over here. At this moment, an incomparably huge palm wrapped around him, and the multicolored dragon python. The powerful dragon python didn't have the slightest bit of control over it. Patriarch. The expression of Invincible battle technique changed slightly.
He flew straight back to the mountain range behind him. The peak experts around the battle technique city smiled and immediately flew towards the patriarch. Patriarch, why did you catch me here? After being caught into an ancient hall, Invincible battle technique looked at a fat old man in front of him and said with slight dissatisfaction. It ended before he even started to show off, which made him very unhappy. Shut up, how can you talk to your forefather? The chubby old man stretched out his hand and slapped his head. Invincible battle technique put on a bitter face and didn't dare to be arrogant anymore. Forefather. At this time, more than 20 Eternal God Lord rank 9 and peak experts walked in from the battle technique area. This was only a part of it. The chubby old man nodded and also knew why they came in. The level 8 war pet of the Eternal God Lord was indeed shocking. Even he was a bit surprised. Tell me, how did you get this war pet? Sitting on the main seat, the fat elder asked directly. Boss Wang gave it to me. Boss Wang is the boss of the war pet of the Dragon Palace. Invincible replied. I know how he got it. Why did he give it to you for no reason? The fat elder continued to ask. I can't tell you how he got it. I swore at that time that if I told you, my entire family would be wiped out. Invincible battle technique said with a bitter face. As soon as he finished speaking, the fat elder's face turned black, and the corners of the mouths of the experts from the land of battle technique twitched. Chapter 2342. 2342. Everyone knew about 2,342 Dragon Palace's war pets. Bang! In a hall in the land of battle techniques, Invincible battle technique was slammed heavily onto the ground, leaving only his head. He looked at his ancestor with a bitter face, as if he was about to cry. He did swear that he would not reveal Boss Wang's secret. The fat elder in front of him had a dark face, and the other experts in the land of battle techniques also turned their heads speechlessly. Forefather, I helped Boss Wang attract the sea monsters. He captured and gave me a multicolored dragon python. Invincible said weakly. Where's the law fragment on you? The fat elder glared at him and asked. I used the law fragment. Invincible said. Seeing the forefather glaring at him fiercely, he did not dare to hide it. A group of people from Sky City ambushed Boss Wang. I was still hoping that Boss Wang would give me a battle pet. So I used the law fragment and heavily injured 2 Eternal Lord rank 9 experts. I helped Boss Wang escape. However, that group of people did not end well either. Boss Wang set up an array and killed them all. As he said this, he secretly looked at his ancestor's expression. How many people attacked him? The fat elder was slightly stunned. His face was filled with confusion. 3 rank 9, but 2 were severely injured by me and 4 rank 8. In order to kill them, 2 colorful dragon pythons died. These damn guys are coveting Boss Wang's treasures. Invincible said angrily. All of them. The owner of the Dragon Palace's pet shop seems to be very young. I didn't expect him to have such terrifying strength. An elder behind said with a face full of astonishment. That kid has a very deep relationship with Xian Tianzi. He might be the illegitimate son of Xian Tianzi. His talent is too monstrous. The fat elder raised his eyebrows and said indifferently. When he obtained an ice drill crocodile pet from Invincible battle technique, he had already checked Wang Xian's information. He had used all the information in the land of battle techniques, but he still couldn't find out where the young man came from. Mysterious, extremely mysterious. The corners of the mouths of the elders twitched when they heard the patriarch's words. That godly monarch was already so old. How could he still have a child? Scram. Go to the back room to cultivate. Don't even think about coming out unless you have comprehended the second law. The fat old man looked at Invincible battle technique and waved his arm, throwing it behind the mountain range. When everyone saw Invincible battle technique being thrown out, they smiled. Patriarch, I think Invincible's bloodline is about to awaken. At this moment, a white-haired old man saw Invincible battle technique disappear and asked in a low voice. Yes, it's about to awaken. I found a master for him, and that master happily agreed. At this moment,
A smile appeared on the fat old man's face. The reason why the entire land of battle techniques placed so much importance on the invincibility of battle techniques, and why he gave him such a defensive supreme treasure, was not because he was the most outstanding heaven's favorite in the past 100,000 years. He had seen many heaven's favorites, but how could they be compared to the invincibility of battle techniques? The name invincibility of battle techniques was personally coined by him. It meant that he had a chance to step into invincibility. That's great. When the elders heard the elders' words, excitement appeared on their faces. To be able to get close to that expert, and become that expert's disciple, their land of battle techniques would at least be able to prosper for a few million years. This was a huge benefit for the entire Blackwater front line. As for the colorful dragon python, although they were a bit disappointed, they were already lucky to get it. General Wang, we want all of them. Commander Xian immediately said. All right, the price will be based on the rules set by the Dragon Palace's war pet shop. Wang Xian nodded his head. We might not have so many elixirs, and some of them are also needed by the soldiers on the front lines. A portion of them will be paid with the corpses of the sea monsters. Commander Xian muttered to himself. The corpses of the sea monsters. Wang Xian frowned slightly. How much do you want to pay for the corpses of the sea monsters? About 1/3. How about it, General Wang? Is that not possible? Commander Xian frowned and asked. The battle pets that Wang Xian brought out this time had completely exceeded their expectations. The frontline soldiers also needed elixirs. They couldn't bring out all of them, so they had to store some in reserve. Sure. Wang Xian nodded. 1/3 didn't stop him from upgrading his level by 1 level. However, if that was the case, he might be a little further away from the peak combat strength of the Eternal Lord. However, Wang Xian was not in a hurry. If he were to capture sea monsters again in the future, he would only come back when he could level up to level 4. That's good, that's good. A smile appeared on the faces of the generals. They returned to the residence of the Dragon Palace army with Wang Xian. They called the soldiers who had their battle pets over and asked Wang Xian to help tame them. Wang Xian kept the resources that they gave him and placed the corpses of the sea monsters into the Dragon Palace. In the next few days, he began to help the frontline soldiers tame the war pets. During this period, he also read the information on the AI. He was very satisfied with the method of being invincible in battle techniques. Now, the attention of the Dragon Palace's war pet shop had reached 100 billion people. Wang Xian announced the harvest in the Dragon Palace shop. However, he also announced that all of these war pets were sold to the Blackwater front line. This made many forces and experts look disappointed. At the same time, they were also shocked by the Dragon Palace's war pets that had acquired more than 300 Eternal Lord level war pets. From start to finish, the Dragon Palace's war pets had sold nearly 500 Eternal Lord level war pets. This shocked everyone. 3 level 9 corpses of the Eternal Lord, 6 level 8 corpses of the Eternal Lord, level 7 and level 6 corpses of the Eternal Lord, and the sea monster corpses from the Blackwater front line. With so many corpses, how many level 8 Eternal Lord level leaders can the Dragon Palace produce? After 5 days of training the sea monster for the soldiers from the Blackwater front line, Wang Xian looked at the harvest with a smile on his face. With so many corpses, at least 2 to 3 Eternal Lord level 8 members would be born in the Dragon Palace. It was a must to add a few more experts from the Dragon Palace to take charge. As for the rest of the levels, Wang Xian didn't plan to increase them for the time being. He wanted to increase the combat strength of the Eternal Lord level first. With so many resources, it shouldn't be a problem for 700 to 800 members of the Dragon Palace to be promoted to the Eternal Lord level. With that, the number of Eternal Lord level existences in the Dragon Palace could reach 1,200 to 3,000. I can also increase my own strength. Wang Xian looked at the rest of the elixirs and smiled. The elixirs in his hands were enough for him to increase his strength. After entering the room,
He placed the elixirs into his mouth one by one. The dragon chi in his body was increasing at a terrifying speed. Boom! Soon, his body shook and a dragon's roar came from within his body. A terrifying might rushed towards his surroundings. Chapter 2344. 2344 2744 Immortal King Desolate Beast Cub. Name Wuxia. Race Yin Yang 5 Elements Divine Dragon, Mandragon Unity. Level Eternal God Lord Level 3, Divine Dragon Transformation Level 6. Origin 17/500. Ability Rule the Water Tribe below one's level. Devour living beings to extract origin. Control of the 5 elements. Cultivation method, Divine Dragon Transformation. Supernatural ability, Soul Capture, Spirit Possession, Yin Yang 5 Elements Dragon Eyes. Aspect 5 Elements Grinding, Dragon Kingdom in the palm, Dragon Head under the heavens, Dragon Body of 10,000 miles, Yin Yang Poles, Yin Yang 5 Elements Alms Bowl, Divine Dragon Tail Swing. Law, Metal Wood Water Fire, Earth Light and Darkness Level 3. Divine Kingdom Dragon Palace owned, Level 7. Members of Dragon Palace, 165693. Phew, another level up. Wuxia looked at his attributes with a smile on his face. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. The improvement in his strength was simply too fast. Stretching his body, Wuxia flew towards the Xiantian Academy with a smile on his face. It had been more than a month since he left the academy. It was time for him to return to the academy to see his students. Teacher. Hello, Teacher Wang. Upon arriving in Class 1, the students greeted him immediately. Okay. Wuxia nodded to the girls. I will be staying here for 3 days. If you don't understand anything in these 3 days, you can come and look for me. Yes, teacher. The girls nodded immediately. Situ Yen, have you finished eating the tentacles that you brought last time? I have some flesh and blood of the multicolored dragon python here. It will be enough for you to eat for a period of time. As Wuxia spoke, he threw an interspatial ring to Situ Yen. The flesh and blood here will be distributed according to the previous distribution. Huang Jiejia, Yu Bingbing and Xiao Lan, you 3 will be in charge of supervising it. Oh right, if the 4 of you have improved your abilities, look for me. I will continue to teach you the curse formation. As he spoke, he walked straight into a room. Thank you, teacher. The group of girls thanked Wuxia excitedly. Sister Yen, the multicolored dragon python, seems to be a level 8 sea monster of the Eternal Lord. It is the mount of the Invincible mount in the battlefield. Teacher actually brought us such precious flesh and blood for us to consume. Teacher is too good to us. Furthermore, Sister Yen Jiajia, Bingbing and Xiaolan, I'm really envious of you. Teacher will teach you the curse formation in the future. It is very likely that he will give you a complete inheritance. When they saw Wuxia enter the room, a group of girls surrounded Situ Yen and the rest. They were a little excited and envious. A complete curse formation, the flesh and blood of the level 8 sea monster of the Eternal Lord. At the side, a girl was standing there in a daze. She was Tianxin, and she was also the student with the highest realm in Class 1. Her family background was not bad. She had been cultivating at home. The last time when something happened in class, she was informed by her classmates. However, she did not rush over at that time. In her opinion, this was a waste of her time. However, she never expected that Situ Yen, Huang Jiejia and the others, who were weaker than her back then, would be taught a terrifying and powerful curse formation by her teacher. With such a formation, which teacher in Xiantian Academy would know how to use it? She had missed a huge opportunity, and this made her extremely regretful. If she had known earlier. She looked at Situ Yen and the others, who were surrounded by a group of students with a bitter expression. The resources that the teachers had given them, even her family couldn't afford it. Now, when the other classes, and even the senior students of Xiantian Academy, learned about the conditions of the new student Class 1, their eyes were burning with passion.
No one dared to provoke the new student class 1 now. Not to mention that there were 4 curse array masters in the class. Even their extremely powerful teachers, who protected their own shortcomings. No one dared to provoke a group of girls. Chapter 2345. 2345-2745 was a crafty businessman. He asked us to wait here. In the sky above the pet shop of the Dragon Palace, the newest fighter jet of the Tianzi continent was floating. In front of the shop, Jiao Ming frowned and showed a trace of impatience. They had arrived, but the other party hadn't arrived yet. A master beast tamer of the Tianzi continent asked them to wait here. Beside them, Fugua and an old man smiled and didn't say a word. They're here. At this moment, Fugua saw the figure in front of him and said immediately, "Sorry we're late." Wang Xian saw Fugua and the rest and said to them with a smile. His gaze swept across the crowd and landed on the pet in the arms of a lady. 1000 civet cat. Level 1 immortal king cub. Status: heavily injured and dying. A system message entered Wang Xian's mind. A hint of surprise flashed across his eyes as he opened the door of the shop. "Please come in," he said to Fugua and the rest. "Your Highness, the 2 ladies and young Master Jiao, please come in," Fugua said respectfully to Yuan Yizhu and Leng Yu. Everyone looked at Wang Xian with a hint of surprise in their eyes. They thought the owner of the Dragon Palace's war pet would be an old man. They didn't expect him to be so young. How could such a young man tame the level 8 war pet of the Eternal God Lord? The few of them entered the Dragon Palace's war pet shop with doubts in their hearts. Such a shop at such a young age. How could he be a beast tamer master? Looks like we've come to the wrong place. Jiao Ming looked at the small shop and scanned the surroundings as he spoke coldly. Even Leng Yu frowned slightly without anyone noticing. His aura was too young, and the shop was too shabby in their eyes. Wang Xian heard the conversation at the back and didn't pay much attention to it. Boss Wang is able to tame the level 8 war pet of the Eternal God Lord. He is exceptional. Fugua, who was following behind, said in a low voice. "Then I would like to take a look," Jiao Ming said in disbelief. Leng Yu, who was at the side, nodded and followed them in. "Brother Fu, what's so urgent that you have to rush over?" Wang Xian gestured to the group of people to sit down and said to Fugua, "It's the heaven's favorites from the same sect as our prince who saw you taming a bunch of battle pets. We would like to see if you can help us with something." Fugua looked at Leng Yu and said, "Same sect as the prince." Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. "Master Wang, can you take a look at my pet?" Leng Yu said to Wang Xian. However, she didn't pass the 1000 civet cat to Wang Xian. 1000 civet cat. A level 1 immortal king level desolate beast cub. It's heavily injured, Wang Xian said to her. If not for the system notification, Wang Xian wouldn't have known that an extremely beautiful pet would be an immortal king level battle pet. This was the first time he had seen such a level battle pet. "Oh, Master, can you help me take a look?" Leng Yu's eyes were filled with surprise. Her attitude changed drastically as she stood up and said to him, "Let me take a look." Wang Xian nodded and said to her, "All right." Without any hesitation, Leng Yu handed it over immediately. The fact that the other party could recognize her pet at a glance and sense that it was severely injured was proof of its ability. Wang Xian took over the 1000 civet cat and used his hand to sense it. "Give me an elixir. It's the highest grade one you have on you," Wang Xian said to her. "Ah, you want an elixir before treating him? That's against the rules." Jiao Ming frowned and said to Wang Xian. His first impression of the pet owner of the Dragon Palace was not very good. "This is the most precious elixir I have on me. Elixirs of too high levels are not of much use to me. I have a lot of god stones." Leng Yu took out an elixir without hesitation and said to him, "Eternal Lord level 9. Wang Xian was not too surprised when he saw her taking out such a precious elixir. A lady who could own a level 1 immortal king war pet must have an extraordinary background. Wang Xian kept the pill and looked at his attributes. He then transferred 7 units of Origin Dragon energy into the 1000 civet cat's body. One level 9 Eternal God Lord pill could bring him 10 units of Origin Dragon energy. It was not a loss at all. Buzz buzz. When the Origin Dragon energy entered the 1,000 civet cat's body, its body trembled, and a ray of light flashed across its body. The position of its heart started to fluctuate slightly. This is... Lung Yu's face revealed an excited expression, and she stared at her pet nervously. It's actually getting better. Jiao Ming was slightly stunned, and a shocked expression appeared on his face. Even a beast tamer grandmaster from the Star Origin planet, and a grandmaster from the Witch Beast Pavilion could not treat it. But he was actually able to make it get better. This was simply unbelievable. His injuries are too serious. If you want to treat him completely, 150 level 9 Eternal Lord tier pills should be more than enough. Wang Xian said. In fact, Wang Xian had consumed 100 level 9 Eternal Lord tier pills and was able to make the 1,000 civet cat recover completely. However, he had to charge a fee as well. 50 level 9 Eternal Lord tier pills were his reward. If he could obtain these 50 level 9 Eternal Lord elixirs, his strength would be enhanced immediately. Can I really recover all of them? Lung Yu revealed an excited expression and said to Wang Xian. Sure. He nodded his head. Look at how relaxed you were just now. Isn't 150 level 9 Eternal Lord elixirs too expensive? Jiao Ming frowned and said from the side. The young man's hand had recovered a little just now. It was too easy. Up to you. Wang Xian passed the pet to Lung Yu and shrugged. The value of 150 elixirs was indeed not low. However, compared to the value of a young immortal king, it was totally worth it. As long as Xiao AI can be cured, 150 level 9 Eternal Lord elixirs is not much. However, I don't have so many elixirs in my hands. I will pay with divine stones. Lung Yu said hurriedly. Divine stones are not enough. I only want elixirs. Wang Xian shook his head. Divine stones could not be converted into dragon qi. If he were to consume too much of it, his level would drop. However, he was a little surprised that he could take out divine stones that were worth 150 level 9 Eternal Lord elixirs. If he had known earlier, he would have asked for 200 elixirs. What a loss! Lung Yu frowned when she heard his words. She looked at Yuan Yaju and the old man and opened her mouth slightly. Miss Lung, we can take out the divine stones, but we really can't take out so many Eternal God Lord level pills. The old man shook his head bitterly. The royal family of the Federation focused on technology. Although there were many disciples cultivating now, they really couldn't take out 150 level 9 Eternal God Lord pills. They could afford the divine stones. Can you help me treat Xiao AI first? I will return to the Star Origin planet immediately to get the elixirs. Lung Yu looked at Wang Xian and said, Master Wang, the royal family can vouch for you. We will definitely not lose a single elixir for you. Yuan Yaju said from the side. Fu Guo and the rest also looked at Wang Xian. No. Wang Xian shook his head. Can we still go back on our word? We can still afford these elixirs. Beside him, Jiao Ming stared at him and said, All right, once the elixirs are ready, just ask Brother Fu to contact me. Wang Xian ignored him and said directly, You, how can we still owe you anything? Why would our heavenly Dharma sect care about your elixirs? Jiao Ming's expression changed slightly when he saw Wang Xian ignoring him. He said coldly, Is your heaven Dharma sect that powerful? All right then, the price of 200 level 9 elixirs of the Eternal Lord has increased. Wang Xian chuckled. Initially, he felt a little regretful when he saw how straightforward they were. Coincidentally, this fellow did not respect him. Hence, he decided to increase the price. All businessmen are evil. Wang Xian sighed in his heart. This is not my fault. Chapter 2346. 2346, 2746 Star Beast Planet. What? When Jiao Ming heard Wang Xian's words, he was stunned. Then his face turned red with anger. Increase the price. This fellow actually increased the price directly. He increased the price by 50 level 9 Eternal Lord elixirs, and increased it by 1/3. Was it because he said a few more words? You don't want to. He glared at Wang Xian furiously and clenched his fists tightly. If you have any more objections, I will continue to add more. Of course, you can also choose not to treat me. Wang Xian looked at him indifferently and interrupted him. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. I can't treat you anymore. Ever since this fellow came in, it was as if he had been dissatisfied. Since that was the case, he wanted to let him know whose territory this was. You're courting death. I might not be able to produce 200 level 9 eternal elixirs. Jiao Ming was burning with rage. He glared at Wang Xian with a face full of anger. However, Leng Yu interrupted him directly. She looked at him coldly and turned to Wang Xian with a frown. Although her background was extraordinary, 200 level 9 eternal lord elixirs was not a small number. Her family had already paid a heavy price to get Xiao AI for her. She did not want to trouble her family anymore. 150 pills was almost her limit. 200 pills was a bit difficult. However, I can give you a pass to enter Starbeast Planet. In 5 days, Starsource Planet will send some people to Starbeast Planet. Although there are nearly 100 slots in your Tianzi continent, such slots are very precious. Moreover, you are a beast tamer master. In the Starbeast Planet, you have the opportunity to tame more battle pets. Xiao AI was obtained by an expert on the Starbeast Planet. After pondering for a moment, Leng Yu opened her mouth and spoke. Yuan Yaju, Wan Qing, and the rest frowned slightly. They didn't expect Wang Xian to actually raise the price from the ground. Humph. Jiao Ming snorted coldly and didn't say anything. He could get a spot on the Starbeast Planet as well. To him, this item was not very precious. There are nearly 100 spots in the Tianzi continent. There are spots in the Xian Heaven domain as well? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and looked at Fu Guo with curiosity. Fu Guo looked hesitant. He looked at Leng Yu and nodded his head. I can give you a map of the desolate beast lair. Leng Yu continued. I don't know exactly how many level 8 desolate beasts lair maps there are. Alright, it's a deal then. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and nodded his head. After all, he was a good person. If it wasn't for the name of the dragon, he wouldn't have raised the price so easily. Moreover, he was very curious about the possibility of obtaining a young king god in this place. Alright, in 3 days, a group of you will return to the Star Origin planet with us. Leng Yu took out a badge and handed it to Wang Xian. On the badge was a picture of the Heaven Gate. This was the pass to the Starbeast Planet. Leng Yu looked at Xiao AI in her arms, then looked at Wang Xian before turning around and leaving. Everyone immediately followed behind him. Starbeast Planet Pass? To obtain the young immortal god King Desolate Beast, I will ask Xuanjin to guard them later. Wang Xian looked at their departing figures, and looked at the pass in his hands. As for whether there would be any danger, he was not worried. The other party had a favor to ask of him. If the Heavenly Dharma Gate was really so strong, they would not harm him, because of these things. The harvest this time is pretty good. Wang Xian revealed a smile on his face. With a move of his body, he flew straight to the front line. Leng Yu, a beast tamer master from the Tianzi continent, dares to raise the price on the spot. He is simply courting death. In the aircraft, Jiao Ming spoke indignantly. When he thought of Wang Xian's expression just now, he was extremely furious. To think that he, a member of the Heavenly Dharma Sect's Jiao tribe, was deliberately humiliated by a fellow from the Tianzi continent. This was the greatest provocation to him. Alright, I'll have to trouble you to speak less. As Jiao Ming spoke, he was once again interrupted by Leng Yu as she gave him a cold glance. Not only did the Beast Tamer Grandmaster from the Starsource Planet not have any solutions to his pet, even the Wizard Beast Pavilion Grandmaster that she went to look for did not have any solutions. That Wizard Beast Pavilion Grandmaster spoke frankly. It was not that little AI could not be cured. The Wizard Beast Pavilion had powerful Grandmasters that could cure him, but the price of inviting that Grandmaster to treat him was something that she could not afford. Jiao Ming looked at Leng Yu, his expression constantly changing. Young Master Jiao, that boss Wang has divine King Xian Tianzi behind him. He has a very deep background and strength in our Tianzi continent. Fu Guo hesitated for a moment before reminding him from the side. Jiaoming, I don't want any more accidents to happen. That Master Wang has extraordinary abilities. One more friend is better than one more enemy. Leng Yu said indifferently. Jiaoming sat there without saying a word. His expression was a little ugly. Chief Xian. At the front line of Blackwater, Wang Xian went straight to Chief Xian when he arrived. General Wang, please come and sit. Chief Xian greeted Wang Xian with a warm face. He was naturally very polite to a beast tamer, who was highly valued by the ancestor, and was very strong. Sorry to disturb you, Chief Xian. I have something to ask you. Wang Xian went straight to the point. I'm not disturbing you. General Wang, just tell me what it is. You don't have to be polite. Chief Xian said it directly. It's about the Star Beast planet. Wang Xian asked him. Star Beast planet? General Wang wants to go there? There should be more than a dozen spots in the Xian Heaven domain. It seems to be in the near future. If you want to go there, I'll get someone to get you a pass. Chief Xian pondered. Someone gave me a pass. Where is this Star Beast planet? What's the situation? I heard that there might be a young immortal king there. Is that true? Wang Xian asked curiously. If my luck is really heaven-defying, I might really be able to get a young immortal king. Hee hee. Xian Zhenshou smiled, introducing him. Star Beast planet. It's a planet not too far away from the Star Source planet. It's a planet without humans. There might have been humans there before, but they were eaten by desolate beasts. Now it's a desolate beast planet. On that planet, desolate beasts roam freely. There are all sorts of treasures. There are about 20 to 30 powerful undying God King desolate beasts. The rest of the eternal God Lord desolate beasts are in the millions. A long time ago, Star Beast planet and Star Source planet were enemies. Some powerful desolate beasts often flew to Star Source planet to wreak havoc. An ancestor of Star Source planet killed Star Beast planet's strongest beast king. However, that ancestor was heavily injured and died not long after. The Beast King's undying god country is located within the space crack of Star Beast planet. Every 5 years, the space crack would be at its weakest. At that time, the entire Star Beast planet's God King level desolate beasts would head to the Beast King's God country. During this time, the entire Star Beast planet will be relatively safe. Every 5 years at this time, Star Source planet will send warriors to search for treasures. There were once warriors who obtained an undying God King cub inside. Xianjin Guardian explained in detail. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.